Jim Henson, Frank Oz. If they were on, you had a good day.
We're the best of friends.
Yes. How many lines do you have? Three. Well, try to get the first one better.
So the name of the doc...
Become intellectually and spiritually involved with the civil rights movement.
Those were revolutionary times.
I saw it as a political show.
There's no question that we're integrated. That's our worst sin. I'm happy to be a sinner.
Yeah.
Beautiful children will grow up. And make the whole world beautiful. Right on.
Now, there's Jesse Jackson talking to a bunch of kids. Imagine how that would fly today.
Yeah.
I imagine Tucker Carlson would have something to say about that. But the name of the documentary is Street Gang, How We Got to Sesame Street.
Oh, I love it.
And that will
how
be...
to get to Sesame Street. Get it? See the how to get to
That will be...
It's a location.
That will be in theaters April 23rd and video on demand on May 7th, Gina, just for you. So there you go.
It.
Then we also got trailers from Season 2 of Star Trek Lower Decks. It was a big Star Trek release this week because it was First Contact Day on Monday. Discovery Season 4 was a trailer. And we got to look at Picard Season 2, which features the return of Q. Not that Q, but the Q from Star Trek. John Delancey is back. And finally this. There was an auction that was just had online. A sealed cartridge of Super Mario Brothers for the NES. This is very old. A very old video game. A sealed game cartridge of Super Mario Brothers NES just went on sale, the most expensive video game auction ever sold, for a whopping $660,000.
Ooh.
So let me just start the bidding right now on this. This
is that unopened, really?
This is unopened, an Atari 2600 cartridge for Ms. Pac-Man, sealed right there. So let's start the bid. Once I read that story, I went, wait, I got a couple of those over
have
there.
That.
Hell, all right, I can do that.
You can retire, Carrie.
Right. There you go. Traffic, please.
Whole bunch of nothing out on the roadways right now.
Good.
Very much good. Gina, thank you for that. But if you do see an incident, you can always say something by texting it to me. 33986 is the number.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Now is the time to call in and line up to beat Gina. 877-602-9696. Easy Twin Peaks trivia. You will win, you could win a Radio from Hell face mask at 877-602-9696. KXRK Provo.
Radio from Hell on X96.
So anyway, we're up there, getting bags of food and turkeys. But when we first got there,
This is before we went on the air.
now I didn't say this to her on the air, did I?
No. No, this was before we went on.
She introduced herself, and I forget her name. Hi, I'm so and so with the food bank, and we said hi, and she handed us a fact sheet, and it's just a few things there, and she said, and then she said, I don't even think we asked her to be on the radio.
Didn't.
She said, I don't want to go on the radio, and Carrie said, well, come on, we've got to. Want to talk to somebody from the food bank?
Yeah.
You're here. You're an expert.
I believe every year we have spoken with them.
Yeah, and I said, well, we need somebody from the food bank. We'd like somebody from the food bank to talk. And she said, well, what are you going to ask me? and it made me a little mad.
It did, because it's kind of a
and I said, well,
question.
I'm going to ask you, what the velocity of a V1 rocket is, and how to build a diesel truck, and what is the composition of quartzite. I said, I'm going to ask you stuff that you can answer about the food bank.
The stuff that was on the sheet.
Easy stuff. She disappeared and never came back.
Yeah.
And no one else from the food bank.
No.
She was the representative that morning.
And
you could have handled that better.
Yeah, I could have. And I think I did say, well, could you get us somebody who will talk? I think I said that. And that's when she said, well, what are you going to ask me?
I think he was just trying to point out to her that, that was kind of a silly question. You're here to represent the food bank. Tell us about hungry people.
I was, but I kind of snapped at her.
But people that
Never been on the radio or put in that position. It makes them nervous just right off the bat.
Gina, I don't think, again, you really need, other than that seems to be your role, to apologize for this. I'm doing the apologizing. You don't need to.
Once again,
it's my turn to apologize.
Stepping all over Bill's thing.
Stop apologizing. I'm apologizing.
You know, you're always there to ruin the punchline, and now you're ruining the apology.
And quit throwing your shoes at me.
Wait, there's another one.
So she really never said why she didn't want to be on the air, did she?
No, but she was scared. You know, she was nervous.
She did the I don't want to be on the air.
Well, maybe she had a real job and was supposed to be at work and didn't want anybody to hear her.
No, but anyway, I feel bad about it. I'm sorry. I'd like to find out her name, and I'll send her an apology or.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her. You'll scare her.
Yeah, I didn't mean to scare you, and I'm sorry. I was a little short, but it's first thing in the morning, and we're just getting it together, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Again, you can't treat everybody like you treat me.
Oh, shut up. I can too. You call right now, and I'll tell you to shut up. I don't care who you are.
Gary, Bill, and Gina on X96 Radio from Hell.
Now, did you find the Mitt Romney?
I did find the Mitt Romney.
All right, let me just read to you briefly where he did this. It was during a surprise appearance at a dinner this week.
Did he pop out of a cake?
For Washington, D.C. radio and television reporters, his top 10 list of reasons why he dropped out of the race for the White House earlier this year.
Oh, now I found the David Letterman. Is this a different thing that you're talking about?
It says here Romney offered the David Letterman-style list, written with the help of several campaign advisors at the Radio and Television Correspondents Annual Awards dinner Wednesday night. A video of the appearance is available on YouTube.
Now, see, I've got the David Letterman. I don't know if this is the same thing.
Why don't you do it, and I'll see if that's
I also
the same
have
thing.
The other one, too. So.
Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Well, here you have it. As topical as though torn from today's headline. Yeah, exactly right. Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Here we go, number 10. Harsh Midwest weather was murder on his split ends. Number 9.
Is that?
This is not the Mitt Romney one. This is Letterman's, but let's see which one is funnier.
Okay.
Wants to devote more time to his rap persona, P. Mitty. P. Mitty. Number 8. Polls show public doesn't want a president who looks like a casino greeter.
That's good. That's good.
Number 7, just couldn't compete with the Ron Paul juggernaut. Number 6.
That's funny.
Unveiling a new line of honey-roasted rom nuts. What? What? What?
Honey-roasted rom nuts.
Honey-roasted rom nuts. I don't know what's the matter with the guy. Number 5, that bastard Zogby headed in for him. Number 4, apparently America's not ready for a white male president. Number 3.
That's good. That's a good one.
Number 3. Number 3, writer suffering from Mitt withdrawal. Number 2, there was that little problem of nobody voting for him. And the number 1 reason Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race, lost all of his money betting on the Patriots.
There you go.
Well, we find ourselves here yet again, Beat Gina, where one lucky contestant will go toe-to-toe against the genius herself to host the festivities. I'm going to turn things over to the one, the only, the daring debonair, Carrie Jackson.
Well, thank you, Dick. Our fill-in announcer, Dick Nars, while Johnny Ola is recovering from something. I don't know, Dick. It's like you changed since last week. I can't explain it, but there you go. Thank you, Dick Nars, everybody. Let's see now. We did toss a coin off the air out of all the people who are online, on hold, waiting to play Beat Gina, and I didn't catch the name of the person that's going to be playing. Alan is who won the coin toss off the air. Alan, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
All right, Alan.
Thanks for letting me listen.
Thank you. Well, thank you. We're going to let you play against Gina. It's easy Twin Peaks trivia because on this day, Twin Peaks premiered in 1990. And it was all that anyone talked about at the time.
It was a TV event.
TV events. All right, so Alan, you won the coin toss to play, and now we're going to toss another coin to determine who goes first in this Beat Gina game. Heads or tails? It does give you the advantage, Alan. Call it.
Let's go with tails.
All right, coin toss app says tails. You go first.
Alan.
All right,
Okay.
Alan.
Very nice.
So what's going to happen is this first question is for you to answer exclusively. If you get it right, if you answer, it's multiple choice, 4 answers. You choose one of them. If you get the answer right, then you get the point. And then we go to Gina with her question. Now, if you get the answer wrong, then that gives Gina a chance to answer it correctly and steal the point away. And we'll go back and forth like that until somebody gets 3 points. All right, Alan. So this first question is for you. Oh, it's a happiness and tragedy kind of a thing with Twin Peaks today because, yes, it did premiere on this day in 1990, but we just received word this morning that Walter Olkowitz, who was an actor on Twin Peaks, he played Jacques Renault, the bartender. He died.
Oh, we have a tragedy.
Tragedy, yeah. And if you look at this guy, you'll go, oh, that's the guy who, when you couldn't afford Belushi or Belushi was dead, that's the guy they called.
Because
he
he's
was
kind of a pudgy...
Yeah, he was in a lot of shows. Anyway, so there you go. Let's start. Here we go, Alan. First question for you. Alan, what is Agent Cooper's first name? What is Agent Cooper's first name? Is it A, Alice, B, Dale, C, DB, or D, Bradley?
I believe that's B, Dale.
Dale is correct.
That's 1 point for Alan. Looks like Gina's got some real competition today.
All right. Gina.
Yes.
What was the name of the casino that was owned by the Horn family? What was the name of the casino in Twin Peaks?
Okay.
Was it A, Jackrabbit Slim's, home of the $5 milkshake? B, Jack's or Better? C, One-Eyed Jack's? Or D, Jack and Squat's Casino, home of the loosest slots and never-ending donut buffet?
Donut buffet! I wish it was that one, but it's not. It's the One-Eyed Jacks.
One-Eyed Jack's is correct.
That's 1-1. Things are heating up on Bay Gina.
Thank you, Dick. All right, so it's Alan's question now, right?
Yes.
All right, Alan. Who was the singer that performed most of the songs at the Roadhouse and also the theme song to Twin Peaks when there was words in it? Who was the singer? Was it A, John Sebastian, who sang Welcome Back, Killer Bob? That was a big hit. Welcome back. All right. Was it B, Randy Newman? Here's a sad, sad story about a girl wrapped in plastic. They found her on the shore. Looks like she's dead.
Carrie, you're giving him hints.
Was it C, Alanis Morissette, or was it D, Julie Cruz?
Oh, so what Gina said is throwing me off. I'm not positive about this one, but I'm going to guess Randy Newman. Probably not.
Oh. I was trying to help you out, Alan.
There's a fish in the coffee pot. No, it was not Randy Newman. I'm sorry. Gina, you have a chance to steal.
I believe it's D.
It is D, Julie Cruz. Thank you. All right.
Gina Barberi now leading the score with 2 points.
And it's her question,
Alan.
right?
Yeah.
That means that she could wrap this up and we could go home.
And Alan will be going to... Where are you going to go? What local business are you going to go to,
Yes.
Alan, if I beat you?
I'm going to be supporting the pie.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Let's see. Gina, here's your question for the game.
Yes.
The Red Room sequences were notable for several reasons, but the characters spoke differently there. How was this achieved during filming? The characters spoke differently in the Red Room. How was this achieved during filming? Was it A, the actors had to learn and read their lines backwards? Was it B, Daft Punk remixed all of their vocals? Was it C, they spoke in Pig Latin? Or was it D, they spoke their lines, but then the sound effects man erased their lines and overdubbed it with chainsaw sound effects?
I believe it's A.
The actors did, in fact,
learn
their lines and read them backwards.
And just like that, Gina Barberi walks away, beating the always affable Alan, but he doesn't walk away with nothing. What does he win, Kerry Jacqueline?
He doesn't win anything. It's not up to me. He lost the game. And so now
traditionally how this works...
Gina now is the prize winner, so...
But Alan, the prize for me is you going to local business, and you said you'd go to the pie and patronize them. That's the prize for me. And I know that the pie, the OG pie located in Salt Lake City, is going to keep requiring that mask mandate. So why don't I go ahead and give you a Radio from Hell face mask anyway, so you can wear it to the pie.
Thank you,
You're
Alan.
too kind, Gina.
Well,
Alan,
I don't normally do this.
Not normally. This is unprecedented. Alan.
Thank you so much.
We'll put you on hold. We'll get your mailing information so we can get you this Radio from Hell face mask. Thank you, Alan. All right.
And you're excused, Dick. You can...
Yeah, Dick, you can... Well, that's how Dick leaves the room. Now that Dick Norris is gone, Nick, if you would give us traffic, please.
Yeah, you got it. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything yet here in the morning, but obviously I'm not out there on the road. So please, if you do see something and you can...
There's a text in there. Somebody saw something and said something via text.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
well, let's read it. Oh,
right
here. I-80 eastbound stopped at 1300 East. Debris in road. Thank you for that text. And you can make your own. 33986 is the number for any observations you might have about traffic. And that is brought to you by Schedule your appointment by April 16th to get a professional AC or furnace tune-up for only $29 with Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Call 801-264-HALE.
Now, off the air, I'm going to tell you about a question that I wrote just for you, Gina.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it off the air because I don't want to overwhelm Nick with references. Let's see. Round one of your boners coming up. What do we got?
Well, boner candidate number 1. What a dumbass hill to die on.
Amen.
Boner candidate number 2. By all means, let's let anyone carry these anywhere. And boner candidate number 3. Did I mention that they're also police officers?
Round one of your boners, big boy news, all coming up after these. UtahAdvocates.com. Now, that is the website where you can go at any time, 24/7, and you have your choice. There's the phone number there at UtahAdvocates.com, and you can call and speak to an attorney and get that attorney, not a gatekeeper or a secretary, but an attorney, and that you can get their opinion as to whether you might have a case or not. But if you're extra shy, there's also a live chat feature there, utahadvocates.com, and you can do the same except anonymously with an attorney via the chat.
Yeah, if you've been injured due to someone else's negligence. Now, the obvious one of those is car accidents, but there's other things that happen, too. We've talked about dog bites. We've talked about being injured on someone else's property. Any of that, and any time of day it happens, you can call them 801-355-5550, or as Carrie said, you can chat with them online 24/7 at utahadvocates.com. Let them talk to the insurance company so you don't have to. Let them take that headache away.
So much easier if you let them take care of it, because you know what? They kind of scare the insurance companies. They don't want to hear I'm an attorney on the phone. They want to hear, oh, this is just Nick and I want to get my claim, because they'll just run over Nick. But your attorney, not so much. utahadvocates.com.
There's a great a little video that I tweeted early this morning at RFH Bill.
Well, let me go look.
It's a little video of some mayor somewhere in Wisconsin, I think.
Yeah.
He's doing his Groundhog's Day thing with
Like
Jimmy the Groundhog.
Jimmy, that's
Sun
not a
Prairie-
groundhog name. It's not.
Why is Jimmy not a ground? Phil is a groundhog name.
Sure.
Why is Jimmy not a groundhog
Jimmy's
name? It's fine. If
Awfully defensive
Princess,
about Jimmy.
good God, Gina, you derail the story.
Jimmy, that's not a ground.
Why does Carrie Fisher call her dog Gary? It's fine. Anyway, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Jimmy the Groundhog, and the mayor Jonathan Freund is and he's an idiot. And I love the way they wrote this story on what is it, Gawker or Newsfeed? It's called Gawker's Newsfeed. Yeah. Low rent Punxsutawney Phil impersonator Jimmy the Groundhog has the easy task, or the easy annual task of predicting each February whether Sun Prairie, Wisconsin will experience 6 more weeks of winter. This year, the job got to him a little bit as he whispered his prognostication into Mayor Jonathan Freund's ear. The weather will be, got your ear, sucker! I'm biting your damn ear off. How do you like me now?
He gets a hold of it, too.
Yeah, he does.
He gets a good chomp in there.
Yeah. You watch the
He keeps
little
going.
video.
The mayor keeps going, though. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, flinching from the savage attack on his soundy flaps, Freund attempted to translate the bite from groundhog to English. He didn't see his shadow, the shaken mayor stammered, so it will be in early spring. Jimmy's handler is obviously concerned about the integrity of the little biter's predictive record later clarified that he had actually been attempting to indicate that winter would last another 6 weeks. It is Wisconsin, after all.
So the mayor got it wrong altogether.
Yeah. The mayor's office responded that only the mayor can translate Jimmy's prediction, the Milwaukee Sentinel-Journal reports. But it's a funny video. Watch the little video.
My question is, what kind of a mayor name is Jonathan? I mean, really?
It's a fine mayor name.
Terrible mayor name.
Fine mayor name.
No, that's a terrible name.
Jimmy is not a good name for a groundhog. Jimmy's a nice guy. Groundhogs are mean.
Gino, why don't you just shut up?
A texter points out Jimmy the Groundhog was part of the Gambino family.
Exactly.
That's your confusion. So,
What?
Jimmy is a perfectly fine name for a groundhog. Who died and made you the namer of all things?
I'm not the namer of all things.
You sure act like it. No, Val Kilmer is not dead.
Yet.
And what kind of a name is Val for a Kilmer?
Exactly.
The Kilmers never named their children Val. What's wrong with them?
.724, let's get right to it. Round one of your boner voting. Here we go. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you'll decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one do you think is the worst? Which one do you think should go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? Because you see, winning here, it's not boner of the day. It wins a spot in Boner Dome. Round 2 comes up at 8:20. We'll do this again with 3 other candidates. Get another winner there at 8:20. Send both of the winners forward to Boner Fight. 9:20 is when you'll decide Boner of the Day. Right now you're picking a champion from this round 1 to send forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, and one of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
Wear it out and about. Wear it to bed. Wear it in the shower, for all we care. It's a Boner t-shirt.
And you can pick it up. We do have limited office hours now, 9 to noon, 50 West Broadway, 2nd floor. Boner candidate number 1. So that's the hill you're going to die on, huh? That's the one. A Minnesota man says he is prepared to go to jail for refusing to take down his massive Trump 2020 flag that violates city ordinances. Jay Johnson is flying a 50-foot by 30-foot custom-made flag at his construction business in Buffalo, Minnesota, but his decision to do so is a violation of the law. City ordinance requires signs of that size to be licensed. Under the city code, signs, these are people of law and order. These are the people that believe in obeying laws. And
well, they're the party of law and order.
Yeah. Under the city code, signs with a sign area larger than 8 square feet, like Johnson's, must have a license and are subject to the time, place, and size restrictions set forth by the city. Signs that do have a license are only allowed to be displayed for a maximum of 15 consecutive days, and the city does not issue more than 2 licenses in a 12-month period. Because Johnson has not applied for one and has not indicated to the city that he will, it's now being determined that they will proceed with enforcement. A Buffalo official added that Johnson has received numerous warnings from the city. I am prepared to get the fines and ultimately get cuffed and go to jail or whatever, he told CBS.
How about the whatever? Let me be in charge of the whatever. Yeah.
He said if the city refuses to let him fly the flag at its current location, quote, I'll just put it up someplace else, maybe even a bigger one.
Okay.
Johnson originally took the flag down after the November election, but decided to put it back up last month. It's 150 feet in the air. It cost him $1,000, and it's being held up by a crane, which cost him $50,000.
Wow.
But they voted for Trump because of economic anxiety. It wasn't racism. It was economic anxiety. Yeah.
And I love that it's a Trump 2020 flag. That election is over. It's not even a flag saying,
No, it's not over.
Stop
it never ended.
Or...
He's still the president.
He's not the only one. We talked about it the other day. I've seen a guy with a big-ass truck flying an even bigger flag on the backside just going up State Street. And he's doing it just to rile feathers.
That's over. It's done.
But, I mean, there's even a house on 33rd next to that mechanic shop. He was flying a huge Trump flag, this guy behind us. But now he's flying a flag with a gun on it. That says this property is protected by, some gun or something like that. I don't know what it was.
Smith & Wesson, is it one of those? It
was a handgun. It was like pointing at you like this. I'll show you. And I was like, whatever, dude. I doubt you have anything in there that we want.
Well, so boner candidate number 1. What a dumbass hill to die on. Boner candidate number 2. By all means, let's let anyone carry these things anywhere. A couple different people sent me this one for a boner candidate. Cedar City.
Oh boy, local.
Authorities say a man accidentally shot his friend in the back while target shooting at the Iron County shooting range at the Three Peaks Recreation Center on Monday. The incident marked the second shooting-related injury at the range in as many days.
Is this one of those responsible gun owners?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just checking.
Iron County Sheriff's Lieutenant Del Schlossner said Monday's incident occurred when a man was trying to load bullets into a .22 caliber revolver. He pulled the hammer back, which is what needs to be done in order to turn the cylinder so he could load it, Schlosser said. He went back too far but didn't realize he'd done that, so he let the hammer go forward, which discharged around, and his friend, who was in front of him, was struck in the back. The injured man was subsequently taken to the hospital for treatment. Schlosser says he doesn't know the extent of the man's injuries, but he is expected to recover. Both men are in their 30s. One day earlier at the range, Schlosser said a woman shot herself in the hand. She just finished target shooting with a handgun and was getting ready to put the weapon away when the incident happened. Owner candidate number 2. By all means, let's just let anyone carry these anywhere. Yeah. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Did I mention they're police officers?
Boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this. Big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Moochie's would like to thank their loyal customers for supporting their locally owned and operated business. Moochie's has been voted Best of Utah for over 17 years. Dine-in, delivery, and pickup is available.
Federal investigators are looking into Representative Matt Gaetz' travel to the Bahamas with women, and specifically whether those women were paid to travel for sex, which could violate federal law, a law enforcement official and another person familiar with the matter said yesterday. Investigators are also looking into whether Gaetz, representative of Florida, and one of his associates used the internet to search for women they could pay for sex. Gaetz has not been charged with any crime and has repeatedly denied wrongdoing. In a statement to CBS News, which first reported that investigators were looking into a trip to the Bahamas, a spokesperson for Gaetz denies the insinuations. By the way, this is a different spokesperson because his one he had last week quit.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to be part of this.
It's all right, yeah.
Representative Gaetz has never paid for sex, nor has he had sex with an underage girl. What began with blaring headlines about sex trafficking has now turned into a general fishing exercise about vacations and consensual relationships with adults, the spokesperson said. Nope. New York Times reported last week that the Justice Department was investigating whether Gaetz had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and had paid for her to travel with him. Mm-hmm. Law enforcement sources have confirmed to NBC News that the investigation originated from an inquiry into someone else, Joel Greenberg, who's awaiting trial on trafficking, stalking, identity fraud charges, the whole bunch of stuff.
The list of stuff that this guy Greenberg did, and again, him and Gaetz are best friends. Keep that in mind. And Gaetz was at his office overnight while they played with fake IDs. That we have that documented. But the list of stuff that this guy Greenberg's involved in is just amazing. You look at the list of stuff he's being charged with, and again, keep in mind as you read that list, he's Matt Gaetz' best friend.
Right.
I may say that Gaetz isn't lying when he says I never paid for sex. What I'm telling you is that people paid women to have sex with Matt Gaetz. So yeah, technically maybe he didn't pay for sex, but
maybe it wasn't his credit card. Is that what you're saying?
It wasn't his credit card. Yeah.
In a related story, in his opening monologue Wednesday night, Stephen Colbert addressed the scandals engulfing Representative Matt Gaetz, mocking a particular claim in the Florida Republican's book, Firebrand.
Oh, goody.
Gaetz sought to position himself as a particularly strong ally of former President Donald Trump in his book, which came out last fall. The Late Show host noted that Gaetz, who has denied accusations of sex trafficking and having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl, bragged in the book about taking phone calls from Trump, quote, "When I was in my car, asleep in the middle of the night, on my Longworth office cot, on the throne, on airplanes, in nightclubs, and even, yes, in the throes of passion. Yes, I answered the phone when Donald Trump called me."
Oh, that's in Gaetz' book. That is okay. I'm telling you, get one look at him. Everything you suspect about him is true. I'm telling you. But he's the GQP's star. There was talk 2 weeks ago before this hit. There was talk about him being the nominee for president.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is your guy that you want to line up behind here.
And the information just keeps piling up against him every day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and apparently Donald Trump has wanted to come out and defend him, and he's being held back by people going, no, please, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
It was a release of a statement, I want to say yesterday or the day before, from Trump that said, keep in mind, Matt Gaetz says that he did nothing wrong. That's as far as he's willing to go. Matt Gaetz says he's done nothing wrong. Just like Vladimir Putin told me he did nothing wrong, and I believe him.
Let's see, how much time do we have?
One more story.
One more story. Let's do, can dogs be right-handed or left-handed?
Okay, I didn't read. I read the headline. I didn't find out. So.
Right,
okay.
Right or left pawed, I believe, is the correct terminology.
Did you bring your dog today, Nick?
No, not today. Biscuits isn't stinking up the studio this morning.
According to Psychology Today, a new study published in the Journal of Applied Animal Behavior Science was aimed at determining how many dogs are left-handed or pawed or right-handed. In the study, researchers analyzed data from food retrieval tasks involving 18,000 dogs. Dog owners were asked to obtain a plastic or cardboard tube that was wide enough for a dog's paw. The owners then asked to place a treat near the end of the tube to retrieve the treat. The procedure was done 3 times before the owners were asked to characterize the dog's behavior based on whether they used their right or left forepaw. The owners were also asked to classify their dogs based on age group, puppy, young adult, that kind of thing. According to the owners, about 74% of dogs tested showed a clear paw preference during the food retrieval. Of the dogs that showed a preference, 58% were right-handed, 41% left-handed.
Well, in our house, we know this.
You do?
Ripley is right-handed. Before she goes through the doggy door, she puts her right hand through it first and then goes through.
Always.
And when she fluffs up the Star Trek pillow that she sleeps on over there on the couch, she uses her right paw to fluff it up. Hudson, on the other hand, is left-handed.
Like Obama. You can tell him that. That'll make him feel good.
I'll try to make him feel better about it. I said, oh, honey, of course you're left-handed.
President Obama was left-handed.
I'll make him feel better, yeah. I'll make him feel better. Weather traffic.
Weather, I'm not sure what else to say here except for it is just going to be perfect the next 7 days, according to this report. Might break into 70s, but looks like high 60s are at the most what we're going to be getting in the next 7 days. Some clouds here and there, so go out and have some fun this weekend. Do a little barbecuing.
It's kind of light jacket weather.
Yeah.
Just a light jacket.
My favorite kind of weather. Traffic here. It seems that we had an incident come up. Stalled vehicle, eastbound I-80 ramp to northbound I-215 west. That ramp has been temporarily closed. That should be cleared up by about 8:30, but we'll see what happens there. I had a texter inner say that, where was it? Bangerter. Slowage from 35th south to the 201 on Bangerter Highway, so maybe you want to avoid that if you can as well.
That was a stalled vehicle, just so you know. It was a stalled vehicle for that one, and it hopefully should be cleared soon.
Okay, cool. That is brought to you by We Want Everyone to Know Strong is the place to go. Unlock stronger pricing at strongvw.com.
All right. Candidate number 3?
Did I mention that they were police officers? Charles County, Maryland. 2 corrections officers in Maryland have been accused of driving into a Taco Bell following a feud with employees last week.
Ugh.
On Tuesday, the Charles County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of Tanisha Williams and Diamond Johnson in connection with the crime. A suspect argued with a drive-thru worker at a Taco Bell. Then the would-be customer allegedly exited the vehicle, assaulted the employee, got back inside the car. This is all on video, by the way.
Wow.
From there, the silver sedan drove around to the front of the restaurant where a group of people had gathered. Those on foot were screaming at the car before the driver reversed, so backed up, and then accelerated, driving through the people, knocking them to the ground and shattering the Taco Bell's glass entrance on impact. Footage of the frightening sight's been viewed over 140,000 times since it hit Twitter. After the crash, the driver fled the scene. Authorities responded to the restaurant. Several people were treated for injuries that did not appear to be life-threatening. Both of the women are currently being held at the Charles County Detention Center without bond, the sheriff said. Williams and Johnson are employed as corrections officers in Prince George's County. They were off-duty officers. Authorities told the outlet that the women will be moved to, quote, non-operational status pending the disposition of their cases at this time.
Yep.
Bonus candidate number 3. Did I mention they're police officers? That did this.
Exactly. All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. What a dumbass hill to die on. This is this business owner who spent upwards of $60,000 to keep this giant Trump 2020 flag flying over his business, which it's violating all kinds of city and county ordinances. And he does it. He says, "I come put the cuffs on me and take me to jail." Really? This? Okay. Owner candidate number 2. By all means, let's let anyone carry these anywhere. This is a shooting range in Iron County. 2 shootings, accidental shootings in 2 days at the same shooting range. But, these people can just walk around in public anywhere they want with...
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to have a license and, prove you're proficient and that you can handle these things. And
yeah.
And boner candidate number 3, you just heard it. Did I mention they're police officers?
Okay, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. Winning here secures it a spot in Boner Dome. It will go up against the winner of round 2's voting. We'll do this again at 8:20, get another candidate winner there, and then we'll send them both forward. Boner Fight happens at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. Right now, you're picking a champion for this round 1 to send forward to Boner Fight. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or call 877-602-9696. That's the producer's booth. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting April 8, 2021, and vote there. You have until the end of these messages. Go, round one.
Well, I was going to mention this article a little bit more.
Oh, okay. This is the Tribune article?
Yeah, this guy calls me, and that's why... I don't know what Richie expected. He calls me. He asks for some quotes. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is see if he got the quotes right.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you always do? If you're being quoted
I don't want to be
paper?
misquoted.
No.
I might come off looking stupid.
I'm just concerned my name's spelled right.
It is. And I was quoted correctly. I don't know about you, because you haven't looked yet.
I was rambling. I was doing my dishes when he called. So I had him on my jawbone, you know.
I was.
You in the bathroom?
No, I was at Liberty Park, putting my kids on the Ferris wheel and the little all the little death trap rides that are over there at Liberty Park. The little injury-inducing ride. I cut myself on this.
Really?
Allred, in referencing his 5,000th episode on the Radio from Hell program, was quoted as saying, "You little jerk, get on that ride!"
You're bringing the little jerks tonight, right?
But the quote, this dawned on me. This was, I think, one of the more brilliant observations I've ever had. The reporter from the Salt Lake Tribune asked me, so why do you think your show has been on so long? Why has it lasted 5,000 episodes when other morning shows and radio shows have come and gone? Some appear and go quickly. Some are there for a while, but they disappear. Why have you guys lasted 5,000 episodes? And I said, well, it seems pretty simple to me. It's because nobody ever fired us. Really? I mean, isn't that he kind of paused and he said, well, I guess that is true, isn't it?
Well, but we were fired.
Doesn't mean it's good. We just weren't fired.
We were fired once.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we were fired once.
Yeah.
No, you weren't fired. You could have stayed. You two could have kept doing the show.
No, he was told he would be fired if he didn't sign the contract.
That's what I mean. If you had signed the contract,
I was fired. I was fired because I wanted to be fired. I don't count. I don't count that as really being fired.
Mm.
I was fired because I really, really wanted to be fired in the long run. I wasn't going to sign.
You could have kept your job if you wanted.
Yeah.
You signed the contract. You keep your job.
I wasn't going to sign a contract with those people, and I said to myself, if they fire me, I'll get unemployment. So that's what I want. I wanted to be fired.
So you were fired.
Yeah, but nobody's ever really fired.
Like I said,
fired
you
us.
suck. I don't want you to work here anymore. Get out.
Technically, I've been fired. You were never fired.
I've been fired many, many times. What, you mean from that
not
job?
From this show.
Yeah,
but not from this show.
From the show. You've never been fired from this show.
Not from this show, no.
No.
Well, that's where it matters.
No. Never been fired from this show. And I was fired kind of by design, so I don't count that. I was yesterday. I was at a business. I'll tell you, I was at a business called Total Health and Fitness, who I believe we're going to be doing some commercials for. So I'm out there talking to the folks and everything, and I get done with my business at Total Health and Fitness, which is in Draper on 123rd South, and I'm just about to leave the building where Total Health and Fitness is located. Okay. And a woman walks in and walks up to the desk and says to the lovely receptionist at Total Health and Fitness, "Hi, is this Total Health and Fitness?" To which the receptionist, being a nicer person than I am, said, "Why, yes, it is." And that the woman said, "Oh, okay, good. I'd really like to apply for a job." Now, if it had been me as the receptionist, when she walked in and said,
"Yeah,
is this total health and fitness?" And I probably would have been nice to a point and said, "Yes." And when she said, "Oh, good, I'd like to apply for a job," I would have said, "Don't bother."
Exactly.
Because you apparently can't read the signs all over the building. You didn't read the big sign over the door before you walked in. You didn't see the sign on 123rd South, blazing across the building, total health and fitness. You didn't see that anywhere. I just assume you not apply for a job. Thank you. Goodbye.
You think she was being ironic? Because the signs were everywhere.
No. The receptionist did say she's way nicer than I am, but it was probably true. I don't think she was just trying to be nice. She said, "Well, we're not hiring right now." I would have just said, "Don't bother." God. Oh, shit. I'm just sitting there looking at this going, really? I'm not a nice person, though.
No, you're not.
No.
All right, 7:48. Let's award round one of your boners.
And it's brought to you in part by leftover Easter candy. Those Peeps, they're not so good stale.
No, not really. And by Big O Tires Spring Super Sale is here for a limited time. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires with financing options available. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right.
Boner candidate number 1 was, what a dumbass hill to die on. This is this business owner in Michigan, I believe, Minnesota, one of those. And he's flying a gigantic flag that says Trump 2020 on it over his business, and it's violating city codes and county codes, and he's been warned many times if he doesn't take it down, he will be arrested. And he's like, bring the cuffs. I want to fly that. You're going to go to jail over this? Okay. Boner candidate number 2. By all means, let's let anyone carry these anywhere. In 2 days at the Iron County shooting range, 2 shootings, accidental shootings happening at the shooting range in as many days. Oops. Didn't mean to. Nobody died, but this is, let's let anybody carry these anywhere.
Yeah.
And boner candidate number 3 was, did I mention they're police officers? These are 2 off-duty officers that got into an altercation at a Taco Bell that ended with them driving their car through a group of people and into the Taco Bell glass doors in the front of the building. Let's see. Our boner t-shirt winner was Jacob, and it was a fight between number 2 and number 3, but ultimately coming out the winner is number 2. We're just going to let anybody carry these anywhere, I guess so.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's the winner of round 1's voting. Goes forward to boner fight. Might be boner of the day. Round 2 happens at 8:20. We'll do it again with 3 more candidates. Get another winner there. Send both winners to Boner Dome. 9:20 this morning is when you will decide Boner of the Day. All right, so on the phone with Mayor Mendenhall is here. Mayor Erin Mendenhall, Salt Lake City. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing shipshape. Good morning to you.
Can we just start off by saying thank you very much for extending the mask mandate in Salt Lake? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I imagine
you're welcome.
I imagine some feathers have been ruffled with this.
Yeah, some feathers. Not as many in Salt Lake City, but some outside of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that work in the restaurant business and work in retail, and we've heard from them, and they are happy that at least in Salt Lake City, the issue of the mask mandate will help them not have to hopefully argue with as many people, but there's still going to be issues because the mask mandate is going away other places, and that creates confusion, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It sure does, and I wish it weren't that way. But when we look at our local data, as every city, I think, is through their health department, and ours, of course, is Salt Lake County Health Department. They give each city local data, and when I look at our hardest hit areas, which is our west side, Glendale, Poplar Grove, Rose Park, only about a quarter of those residents have had their first dose of the vaccine.
Wow.
And on the East Bench and in the avenues, about 50% of our residents have had their first dose. Mm-hmm. So we know we're getting there. We're just not there yet. And when it comes down to those restaurant workers, bar workers, grocery store people, frontline personnel, it's still looking like June, maybe late May, before that full, all of that population has been able to receive both doses and get 2 weeks past to be fully vaccinated. We're just not quite there yet.
And that's why I like the data, not a date. We're going to wait till we have the data, not a specific date. I love that. Now, you brought up the Salt Lake County. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the state did it. They set 3 thresholds, about ICU utilization, the rate of how the spread's going. We've met both of those goals already, those thresholds as a state. But the third one is on the prime dose allocation, getting the first dose of the vaccine received by the state of Utah. We're only 56% of the way there. So the state they know how to look at the data side, but the legislature came along and picked an arbitrary date of April 10th, which doesn't have anything to do with any of the data. So I'm not saying no to the state entirely. It's just this arbitrary date of April 10th that makes no sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just seems like the farmers in the legislature just went, well, May is when things start, so let's tell them that the pandemic is over on the 10th.
Maybe they were going to have their parties here in Salt Lake City this weekend.
Oh, good
luck. And we upset their maskless plans. I don't know.
Now, you brought up the Salt Lake County Health Department.
Yes.
And they have said, this is more confusion. So they have said that they are not recommending that the county continue the mask mandate. And there was a line in their press release that I thought was particularly dangerous.
Okay.
It says...
Go on.
Well, and they're not wrong. I just think that the message is going to be twisted. They said we're not going to continue the mask mandate in Salt Lake County because masks aren't what's going to end this pandemic. Vaccines are, which I don't disagree.
That is true. However,
the mask is the tool, and Mayor Mendenhall, I would hope you would agree with me on this. The mask is the tool, the bridge that will get us to the point until everybody's vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, and even by the state health folks' measures, those 3 we just talked about, one of which is the rate of transmission. So if we aren't wearing masks, that rate of transmission can go up, and right now it's even plateauing in Salt Lake County. It's been plateaued in Salt Lake City, meaning we're not dropping anymore. We've leveled out, and that leveling out isn't even a downward tick. It's got a little bit of an upward tick on it. It's still far lower than we've been in a long time. But, we're not dropping anymore, and masks are the key to that. So vaccinations are coming. But in the meantime, we can't be spiking this football before we get to the end zone.
Exactly. And I'm going to continue to wear my mask in public situations for the rest of the year. I'm just planning on it, at least.
Thank you, Carrie.
Quickly before we let you go, we'll end on another positive note. This program you have for exchanging gasoline-powered lawnmowers for electric, are those still some of those available?
I doubt it. Usually that program that the state runs fills up within the first day, but there may be, because we've set some aside for West Side residents where air quality is the worst. So go to lawnmower.utah.gov. If you live in Salt Lake City and on the West Side, you can put your name in and they'll let you know if you can qualify for an electric lawnmower.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Mendenhall.
Mayor Erin Mendenhall, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll talk to her next time. Traffic, please, Gina.
You got it, Carrie. Looking here, we're seeing a bit of slowage here and there. If you're by Bountiful right now on southbound I-15, you're probably running into some slowage there. I would avoid that if you could. I'm seeing some slowage going northbound near Hill Air Force Base. My Utah accent is showing there. We still have those stalled vehicles, two of them specifically. Eastbound I-80 on the ramp, heading towards northbound I-215, and there's another stalled vehicle northbound Bangor Highway at SR-201. So if you can avoid those, I would do that as well. There's your traffic.
Thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back. And we got Sean Means reviewing movies after this, and round two of your boners, all that and more on the way. Oh, and Robert Gehrke coming up. Stand by for all of that. BigOTires.com. You are going to be taking, well, according to people who know these things, people are preferring to take a road trip vacation this summer because, flying is problematic, and so you're going to get in your car, you're going to go somewhere. You might want to have that thing looked at before you go.
Yeah, and Big O wants to keep you and your family safe on the road this spring and summer, and you can stop by for a free multi-point vehicle inspection. And by stop by, we mean any one of their locally owned and operated 42 locations of Big O Tires from Logan to Beaver. I go to the one on Highland Drive. Carrie, which one do you go to?
I go to the one, I just drove by it yesterday, as a matter of fact, on 33rd South, right across from the comic book store. It's the one with the Bigfoot mural on the side of it. I think it's the Olympus Cove one it's called, Olympus Mountain, something.
And they've got a tire sale going on, spring super sale. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of Aspen GTAS, Mesa AP3, Mesa HT, and Nitto Crosstech 2 tires. And if you're worried about paying for those, they're going to work with you on that no credit needed financing at Big O Tires.
The workday can get...
I was worried you guys would hear Mohammed ordered a duck call a while ago, and it finally arrived. So he's been walking around the house tooting on his duck call.
Now, did he get that from the Duck Dynasty people? I hope
I'm
not.
Sure where he got. Here, I'll grab him real quick.
What's the name of their duck? Is it Duck Commander or something like that?
I don't know. Now, see, I'm trying to figure out why he would have a duck call. Now, I had a duck call growing up because we would hunt ducks.
He has been duck hunting.
Has he been?
Yeah, I think Gina's told us the story. He has been duck hunting with his uncle or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. No,
so I have a passing familiarity with duck calls.
I think the Duck Dynasty people, their company was called Duck Commander, but that's how they made their millions of dollars. Is with a duck calls.
With the duck calls, yeah. That's how they made all their big
money.
Okay,
show them your duck call.
So there's...
No, wait. First of all, wait a second. First of all, I want to know what brand this is, Mohammed. Yeah, what brand of duck call is this?
Yeah, Bill wants to know what brand of duck call it is. Into the microphone.
It's a Duck's Waterfowl duck call.
Duck's Waterfall.
DUX is a brand.
DUX.
I see.
Okay, one more toot and then go to school. Okay, have a good day.
Yeah, that's important. It's important that he have one of those.
I can do
He's
that.
He's my little hunter.
Yeah,
He's my little outdoorsman.
Carrie was wondering why he had it, and I said, well, I remember the story. He's been duck hunting.
He's been duck hunting. Okay.
He's my outdoorsman.
like to show you something, Gina.
What do you got?
Let me get it here.
And everybody else can look in.
Yes.
What?
Something furry. Oh, I can't tell.
What is it?
It looks like something that my cat coughed up. What is that? Can't tell what it is.
How much money if I eat it?
Wait a minute. Let's see it again. That does not look edible.
It looks like hair.
It does, doesn't it?
What is
it?
How much if I eat it?
$5.
$5 to eat it?
I'll give you $5.
Okay. There it is.
Okay.
Ready?
That's disgusting.
What?
And it kind of dissolves in your mouth, doesn't
You
it?
seem to be enjoying it, whatever
What
it
is it?
A little bit.
What?
Pork foo.
Which is what? What is pork foo?
It's essentially just pork jerky that's just been shredded.
Shredded,
very
yeah.
So it looks like lint.
So that wasn't such a dare after
No.
all.
I owe you $5.
$5.
Where do you get pork foo?
At the Asian store.
Now, are you supposed to just enjoy it that way, or are you supposed to also add it onto food? Or?
That's what's great about it, is that it's so functional, and it dissolves, and you can put it in stuff, and it brings that nice pork flavor, and but like you said, it dissolves, and you know, and then when moisture hits it, it's kind of like it's meat, you know. It is, It's just
I know exactly. Oh man,
it's delicious.
But it looks hairy. Is it?
It is.
Well,
is it hairy?
No.
In your mouth?
A little for a second.
Like, how about think of it as cotton candy, except it's meat.
Meat candy.
It's meat cotton candy.
Would you eat it, Gina?
I would try it.
Would you?
Sure.
Okay. Maybe I'll
send her over some pork foo.
Now they call it also pork floss, but you know, it says on the package pork foo, so that's what I'm going with.
That's much better. What is the brand? Straighten the label out there. Let me look at the whole.
It's Kimbo brand.
That's great.
Trust
See, that's Kimbo brand pork foo.
Yes, Kimbo brand
dried pork product.
Mm-hmm.
My wife goes to the Asian store, the one on 9th South, all the time. That big one. So I bet they have it there.
Put pork foo on the shopping list.
Get you a jar of pork foo.
Get me a jar of pork foo while you're out, honey.
Yeah, it looks like the dogs tore up the carpet. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, but it's delicious. $8:05. We got round 2 of your boners coming up. Stand by for that. But right now, is this sponsored, Nick?
It is. It's a great time to be a geek in Utah. Dr. Volts and the Nerd Store have joined forces. Comics, collectibles, action figures, and so much more. The Nerd Store and Dr. Volts.
Thank you. Was there yesterday. Sean Means is here. MovieCricket.net is the website where you can find all things Sean Means, his reviews, his musings. He also writes for the Salt Lake Tribune as well. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Here's what I've discovered with this whole pandemic thing and me staying home more often, not going out to movies. I'm starting to see more of these independent films because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to look at the list of Academy Award nominees and go, yes, I saw that, which is different from years previous because I'm looking for entertainment here at home, and it's mostly available on demand in my house, which is just, I think, a wonderful thing. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
and you see that in the Oscar nominees this year, which are a lot of Netflix, a lot of Amazon, Prime. Because that's what people have had the chance to watch over the last year.
Exactly.
And because all the big blockbusters decided to, take the year off.
Exactly. So I think this might be the thing for independent films is they should be getting that video on demand love more because of this. But anyway, we'll see. What do we got?
Right.
Now this first one is in theaters, I know.
Right. Yeah, there's not a lot new in theaters, again, because we're still not all at theaters, and also because nobody wanted to fight with the second week of Godzilla versus Kong.
Exactly.
And so there's one called Voyagers. This is a science fiction Lord of the Flies parable. Earth of course is dying because it always is in these movies. And so the plan is to send a colony ship to another planet that could sustain life. The thing is, the trip is 86 years away.
Oh.
So the plan is to genetically raise smart kids, put the kids on the ship. They will grow up, have kids. Those kids will have kids, and the grandchildren of the first passengers will be the ones who colonize the planet someday.
Okay.
This is the plan. So we are 10 years into the voyage. The kids are now teenagers, and with Colin Farrell there as sort of the dad and the leader of the thing to get them started.
Okay.
And it has been cited that the teens are all going to be given this drug, which will keep them docile and quiet and keep their hormones in check.
Yeah.
Well, the kids figure this out and decide to stop taking the drug.
Exactly.
You can kind of guess what happens after that.
Yep.
The good premise, very slickly done. The guy that directed it, Neil Berger, did Limitless and the first Divergent movie.
Okay.
So the style's really cool. The biggest problem is that the actors, it's like they didn't stop taking the drug.
But Lily Rose Depp is here. I don't understand what you're saying.
Yes, Lily Rose Depp is here, and she's and Ty Sheridan from Ready Player One, and Fionn Whitehead from Dunkirk, and just sort of sits there. So
That's
2.5 stars for that.
That's too bad. It was a good premise. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. It just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
So I did want to talk about this. You mentioned the Oscars. You mentioned independent stuff that can be seen on demand and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing my Oscar homework as well and catching up with the stuff that I missed. And there's one that I gotta tell everybody they have to watch.
Okay.
It's called Collective.
Ooh.
And it is nominated in both the documentary feature Oscar category and the international film category.
Ooh, okay.
It's a double. It's very rare. So this is from Romania, and in 2015 in Romania there was a nightclub fire. One of these things where the pyrotechnics for the band got out of hand and started and lit the roof on fire, or lit the ceiling on fire, and people leaving in a panic and escaping and all that. And there's video of this in the film. 27 people died immediately. 37 more died in hospital over the next 4 months. And the one newspaper in Bucharest, which was actually the Sports Gazette, and why they're the ones that doing this is a story in itself. But they do the investigative work and discover that the disinfectant being used in the hospitals had been diluted.
Oh,
really?
And
That's
it was
not
all
good.
and it was all part of kickbacks and bribes, and basically uncovering that the healthcare system in Romania is a cesspool of corruption.
Huh.
So much so that they get they force the health minister to resign. And then for the second half of the movie, we watch the new health minister, who is a former hospital rights advocate, patients' rights advocate, 32 years old. He's just a kid. He's now the health minister, and he's trying to fix all the things that are wrong, and realizing how deep the rot goes.
Wow. Okay.
And so on one hand, it is this great and this new health minister let the cameras in while it was all happening. So the first half is this great sort of it's like Spotlight or All the President's Men. It's a great newspaper story, and then the second half is this great sort of inside government story, and it is so fascinating, and the parallels to things happening in this country 4 years ago and now, because I mean obviously healthcare, we're suddenly interested in that.
Yeah, we're talking about it. Yeah,
and the idea of the corruption inside this system is it is so fascinating to watch. There's no narration, there's no talking heads. It's just watching it as it happens, and it is just amazing. It is seriously one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
And you gave it that very rare Sean Means 4 stars.
That very rare Sean Means 4 stars for Collective.
The Collective. All right. And Voyagers.
Just Collective.
Just Collective. Yeah. All right. And Voyagers 2.5 stars. All right. And just off the top of my head, Sean, is Carey Mulligan nominated for Promising Young Woman?
Yes, she is.
Good, because she deserves all of the awards. I thought she's
very good. Mm-hmm. She's up there. I think she's up against Viola Davis.
Oh, okay. Viola's always very good.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and other people, of course. But they're sort of the neck and neck for the favorites.
Because that's the other one that I finally got around to seeing, and I really enjoyed Promising Young Woman. Boy, what a great movie that was. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Sean. Moviecricket.net is the website, and he also writes for the Salt Lake Tribune. Sean Means. All right, traffic, please, Nick.
Yeah, we got a crash that just happened eastbound I-80 near 1300 East. The left lane has been closed there. Still have those stall vehicles over on eastbound I-80 ramp to northbound I-215 and the one on Bangor as well. So a few incidents to report, but if you see something on the road that I didn't talk about, text it to me. 33986 is the number to do that.
All right, thank you. We got boners round 2, yes? What?
Yes.
What are they?
The boner candidate number 1. I drive and fight better when I'm drunk. Boner candidate number 2, desperate DMs. Okay. And boner candidate number 3, shut up, Burgess.
Right.
Round 2 of your boners, along with big boy news and opinioendo coming up after these. X96.
I was thinking today how much just this moment of one of our interns, the organized intern, Sarah, and I was thinking, I wonder how much it would cost me to hire her.
For what?
As my personal assistant.
Here we go.
What?
You need a personal assistant.
Sure, I'd love one. I would love one. I think a personal assistant would do a lot of good things for me.
Like what? Do you have dry cleaning that needs picking up?
Yes.
You have a hard time getting around to picking up your dry cleaning?
Sometimes. As a matter of fact, I do. I have any number of organizing things that need to be done all the time.
Mhm.
It would be very nice to have somebody to post a bunch of social media stuff for me.
Mhm.
At my direction, but actually do the work of it. It would be very nice to have somebody I could call up and say, I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I'm forwarding you my list. Please send it.
Mhm.
Please do it. See, she's not. You know what I mean. There's any number of things.
You want to go to the store for Bill?
And she would love to. She would love to do it. She's nodding right now. But A, I don't know as I could really afford her, and B, I like her, and so I'm not sure that I want her to be on the receiving end of me saying, "What do you mean you didn't?"
Yeah,
things like that.
You would end up yelling at her.
Well, we have to break here. But speaking as someone who has an assistant,
What do you need an assistant for?
Here
we go.
I feel bad having her do things.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I'm not utilizing her enough.
You pay her?
I do.
Then don't feel bad. That unless she's the sort of person who goes, okay, I'll get right on that.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, if it's that sort of thing, then I need a different assistant. So see, Sarah would go, that's right. Chief. As a matter of fact, I would insist. I'm paying you. Say right, Chief, after everything I say.
What I need is a personal assistant that I don't like.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
How do you find that?
That's the problem I think I would run into. I like Sarah
because my assistant Nicole, I like her. Yeah. I like Sarah. There's no way that I could put her to work as I need. It just anyway.
I could. I just wouldn't want to yell at her.
Yeah,
And you would.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Maybe.
All right, let's get this over
Chief.
with.
That's what Sarah, would you mind when you're here just saying right, Chief, when I ask you to do stuff? Just for fun?
Okay, I'd like the Cajun grilled chicken sandwich, plain. I just want the chicken and the bun. No cheese, no mayonnaise, no lettuce, tomato, onions, coleslaw. And can I get onion rings instead of fries?
Yeah.
And can I get bacon on that?
Bacon? Did you want to do the chicken club instead of the Cajun chicken?
No, you don't understand.
You see, what was your name again? Kristen, you see, this is not a radio bit. You need to know that this is the way she really is, and no one believes us.
Okay.
So we thought if we got it on tape, people would finally believe it.
All right. Did you want the Cajun seasoning?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like the spicy Cajun mustard mayonnaise on the side.
Mayo on the side.
Don't put it on the sandwich.
No, I won't. No, trust me, I won't.
Thank you.
And the cheese?
No cheese.
No cheese.
No
at all.
cheese. No, just
Okay.
chicken.
All right.
Chicken bacon bun.
Onion
And
rings.
again, we're not trying to be difficult just for the radio. This is real.
All right.
I'm so very sorry.
That's all right. Don't be sorry. I would like to say I've had worse, but that's probably the worst.
And how long have you worked here?
Here, 6 months, but
Dealing with tourists every day and their weird ordering habits, this is the worst. I want it on record, ladies and gentlemen.
It's from an official professional waitress. I'm the worst.
And again, this is no exaggeration.
Congratulations, Gina. Congratulations.
You've earned your spot in the Hard Rock Hall of Fame.
She's here to get married, by the way.
oh, congratulations.
And she's marrying a guy named Joe Jones. Maybe you, as our waitress, I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Kristen.
Maybe Kristen, you as our waitress, you could warn Joe that it's still not too late.
Because I've been saying it every day, every hour, ever since we heard about this.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's what we think.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, 8:21 right now. And just quickly before we get to round 2 of your boners, just a reminder for people wondering, Bill will probably be back tomorrow.
He would like to be.
Yeah, we're trying to talk him out of it. We'll be honest. He should rest, and he should let the wounds stop oozing and all of that. But if you'd like,
he misses you.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that he misses doing this, and he misses you. So if either way, he'll be back on Monday for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But if you'd like to see all of the crap they pulled out of his back, go to our social media pages, and you can see pictures of all of the scrap metal that they pulled out of his back.
There's a lot of back crap.
Back crap.
It's you look at that and you feel pain.
Seriously, I look at that and I'm like, I can't imagine having that in me. In any way. I can't imagine having that in. All right. So yeah, that's your Bill update. Maybe I know he'll at least do a cameo tomorrow if he's not full, back full tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'll at least do a cameo, but for sure on Monday. All right. And wait and see. That'll be part of the fun of tuning in on Friday. Will he or won't he? There. It's called a tease, Carrie. It's a lateral tease. You gotta, All right. Let's get to round 2 of your boners. Here we go. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You'll decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one should go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? I say possibly because it's going up against the winner of round 1. And as I recall, that champion was a pretty good candidate. Mm-hmm. So we'll take both of these candidates, and that's why here in round 2, you choose strategically, because we're going to take both of these candidates and put them together for boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. And so if we have, if you pick strategically, we have a really good boner fight coming up at 9:20. So right now, here it is. Round 2. Pick a champion to send forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
It's not just any bag. It's a tote bag. A Radio from Hell tote bag.
Oh, nice.
Boner candidate number 1. I drive and fight better when I'm drunk. Framingham, Massachusetts. Police arrested David Rose, 62, after the 5:30 p.m. incident, police spokesman Lieutenant Robert Gehrke said on Monday. On Saturday...
Sorry, it's David Rose. So
yeah,
I had to do that.
I didn't even think about that.
Who, David?
I don't think he's that. I don't think he resembles that David.
No, not at all. Complete opposite from what I understand.
On Saturday, police went to a home in Fairbanks Circle on a call about a fight. Upon arrival, officers observed an assault in progress, Grady said. Police pulled Rose away from the other man who had injuries to his face, the lieutenant said. The man and Rose are in the midst of an ongoing dispute, police said. For some reason, Rose decided to leave his home on Saturday and drive the 1.5 mile the other man's home and attack him. Rose was very drunk. And several witnesses told police they saw Rose driving and weaving and getting out of his car and leaving the car running when he got out of it. Police charged Rose with assault and battery and driving under the influence of alcohol. Boner candidate number 1, I drive and fight better when I'm drunk.
There you go.
Boner candidate number 2, desperate DMs. Iggy Azalea has revealed...
Oh, this is your story? Okay. I read this morning. I'm like, really? This is where you're going? Okay.
Has revealed that desperate DMs she gets from celebrities. That's the part. This isn't just like regular fans.
Right.
From celebrities, including someone offering $15,000 just for her to speak to him.
Yeah.
The 30-year-old mom posted a TikTok video on Monday with screenshots of numerous Instagram private messages she has received online, including crude sexual suggestions and even marriage proposals.
Oh, wow.
Although the names were blurred out, they all came from people with millions of followers and blue checks, proving they are verified, well-known public figures. They were shown as Azalea was dancing to her single Sip It, which she sings about rappers in my phone, in my DM, won't leave me alone. Now, I can't read you some of the things that these people are saying to her. One particularly crude message from someone with 27 million followers is so crude I can't even allude to what it says.
Yep.
Someone else with a $6.2 million Instagram follow messaged her about something else I can't say on the radio.
Yep.
Like filthy. Now, I don't know why it's like, okay, well, I expect that from just regular people, but you wouldn't think
you'd think
celebrities
someone with that many, followers needs to realize that you have a public image. And, if Iggy were to release this information with your name on it, but luckily she scribbled them out.
Yeah. What would that do to you?
What would that do to your image?
Yeah.
Well, and it also wouldn't be too hard to do some super sleuthing to figure out who those people are, because how many people have that many followers?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you probably could.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure somebody will figure it out.
Right.
I'm just going to, this is the story about Iggy, but I'm just going to generally say anybody that DMs that kind of stuff is a boner candidate. So, how does it ever work that you look at that and go, oh, wow, you charming devil?
Well,
we should meet up and do that thing you said you wanted to do. Wow, that's a great idea.
It's that age-old sketch, where the construction workers are yelling at a woman going by, and she stopped. Well, it's in Promising Young Woman. They're yelling at this girl walking by. They're yelling at Carey Mulligan, and she just stops and looks at them.
Yeah, like,
and they're like, wait a minute, what? You're not.
Well, yeah, and
hey, get out of here. Go on. You're freaking us out. What are you expecting?
Yeah. Anyway, that's boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Just shut up, Burgess.
Oh, good. I'm glad we can hear from B.O. today. All right, let's get to, we have candidate number 3 for round 2. After this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by.
Enjoy exhibits and films at Clark Planetarium, now open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Reserve your tickets at clarkplanetarium.org to enjoy an experience that will leave you in awe. Reservations are required.
So you've done it. You've waited to be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. You refreshed your web pages until you got an appointment. You showed up to get a quick jab in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to you, Nick. You're next on the list.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow.
You may be ready to pop the champagne or crack open a beer, or maybe even one of Utah's very own bottles of Budweiser that are now available, and celebrate. But hold on a minute. Can you even drink alcohol after you get the COVID-19 vaccine, or should you before? Health officials have confirmed that you shouldn't take painkillers before getting the shot to prevent symptoms, but if your doctor agrees, you can use them afterward. There are some side effects after the vaccine. CD says you may experience fever, nausea, body aches, headaches, chills, other similar symptoms after you receive both your first and second dose.
Mm-hmm.
And those are also sometimes symptoms that are similar to a hangover. But there's no advice from CDC regarding drinking alcohol before or after getting your dose. A Russian scientist caused a stir when she recommended Russians stop drinking alcohol 2 weeks before getting the vaccine and 3 weeks after the second. Another Russian scientist was interviewed and recommended you don't drink alcohol for 3 days after each injection. Well, that's in Russia. The CDC has not come out and said anything about this.
And Russia has a different vaccine than we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have our, sweet Pfizer, Moderna, J&J.
While it's true that chronic heavy drinking and binge drinking can suppress your immune system, just having an occasional drink, including one after your second dose, isn't going to harm you in any way. But I guess if you're talking to Russians, I think they're trying to...
Well, I see, yeah, because...
Russian drinking is different.
A little bit.
Trust me, it is. Bill and I have been there. We spent a week in Russia, and yes, Russian drinking is different, just like British drinking is different. Although we Americans are catching up.
And as far as the taking pain meds, the CDC recommends you avoid things like Tylenol and ibuprofen prior to getting the vaccine. There's a chance that over-the-counter medications can affect your immune response. It's not probable, but why chance it? So Nick, don't take any ibuprofen today.
Yeah, don't.
And just to be clear, can I still take my flask to the shot tomorrow? What is the ruling on that?
Leave it in your car, I would say.
Okay.
I would say leave it in your car.
Don't pull it out after they inject you and go, hey, everybody! It's not.
Now, you can take ibuprofen or Tylenol after you get the shot if you're feeling symptoms.
Okay.
But I didn't. I wanted to cook. Cook in there, mRNA. Go do your thing. I love a fever.
And do you have in the news there? Stephanie's reminding me. I read this yesterday. One of the reasons that, because President Biden said we want to share our vaccine as soon as we get everybody taken care of. Well, apparently, Orange 45 set up some sort of executive order where we can't share our vaccines with other countries.
Which Biden can undo that, but it's just a jerky thing.
Yeah, the fact that he did it. The fact that he did it. It's a global pandemic. Yeah. Global. You want to be able to help the globe.
The more people that are vaccinated everywhere,
yes.
This is why the whole thing with mask mandates and vaccine rates in different cities and counties is important. We don't live in bubbles. We interact, we move around, and we do that globally. And if we want this thing to be over, the more vaccines and more arms we can get, the faster we can get them is better for everybody.
Oh no, I was planning a trip to Europe before all this went down, and even once it gets cleared up, I'm going to wait a year to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. How much time do we have?
You got 2 minutes, so a couple of stories.
Okay. Let's see. Bear's ears. We have our brand new Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland.
She's
visiting,
in town.
Yeah, Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. She'll be there on Friday. She's leading the review of President Joe Biden's ordered controversial move in slashing Utah's 2 large monuments by 2 million acres. This process is widely expected to result in the monument's partial or complete restoration. Haaland arrived Wednesday in San Juan County, where she was briefed by staff from the Bureau of Land Management and U.S. Forest Service, the 2 agencies that oversee the now 200,000-acre Bears Ears Monument. Of course, President Barack Obama established the monument 4 years ago at 1.3 million acres at the request of 5 Native American tribes, the people that know and love this land, hoping to protect the region's archaeological resources and sacred sites. She also paid visit to the Bears Ears Education Center, operated by the nonprofit Friends of Cedar Mesa and Bluff, and checked out the ancient petroglyphs at the nearby Sand Island. So she's in town.
Also, apparently, in that story, the places that Orange 45, made free and open. A lot of litter, a lot of spray paint, a lot of mess, apparently.
Of course.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. Because it's not protected anymore. Anybody can go there now. Yeah.
And let's see. One more quick story. Keith Hernandez. Maybe one of the more polarizing color commentators across Major League Baseball. But what occurred Wednesday night's game, the New York Mets game against the Philadelphia Phillies, might make even his harshest critics feel somewhat bad for him. During the 4th inning of the Mets' 8-4 victory, the sound of a wind chime ringtone can be heard in the broadcast booth.
Okay.
Play-by-play man asked Hernandez the reason behind the interruption. So they're calling the game, and you hear that bing-a-ling.
Right.
And I said, Keith, what's going on now? And he said, I have a slight emergency at home. Everything is fine. So the slight emergency was, so Hernandez is on the road, and he asked someone to come feed his cat while he was gone.
His cat? He's a cat person. Okay.
So the person used the wrong key to try to get into the house, and jammed the lock so they couldn't open the door. The poor cat is in the house and hasn't been fed all day. So the person, now you know what Keith Hernandez is. You know why you're feeding the cat, because he's broadcasting.
He's working.
He can't help you open the door. Now, and the worst part of this is we don't know when the cat got fed. I hope somebody was able to get into the house and feed the cat, but.
Well, George and Kramer would have, but they know they know he's the second spitter. So that
Seinfeld reference.
Keith Hernandez. All right. And Elaine could have done much better than Keith Hernandez.
Exactly.
Elaine could have done much better than the one that she's actually married to, frankly.
Brad Hall?
I know. Don't even get me started.
Okay.
Let's sports weather traffic, please.
Yeah, more Olympics drama has been unfolding the last few days as China's government warned Washington on Wednesday not to boycott next year's Winter Olympics in Beijing after the Biden administration said it was talking with allies about a joint approach to complaints about human rights abuses. A foreign ministry spokesperson rejected accusations of abuses against ethnic minorities in the, I'm going to butcher this, Xinjiang region. He warned of an unspecified, robust Chinese response to a potential Olympics boycott. The politicization of sports will damage the spirit of the Olympic Charter and the interests of athletes from all countries, said the spokesperson. The international community, including the U.S. Olympic Committee, will not accept it because we've never had politics in sports, ever.
Yeah, especially at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Germany. Yeah.
I need it out of my curling.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's there. Everything is political. Anybody who says we need to get politics out of blank, I'm sorry. If you take a look at whatever blank is, it's political.
Yeah, and it's...
Anyway, so
it's a little more than political with this Olympics, with all the horrible things the Chinese government is doing.
Especially this one, yes. Weather traffic.
Yeah, weather. I don't know what to say here because it is just sunny and beautiful the next 7 days. We might get some precipitation Tuesday and Wednesday, but even that has a very slim chance of happening. So throw in the shorts. I'm declaring it a short weekend. This weekend. Traffic here. It seems we've had a few of those incidents I was talking about earlier clear up, but a few new ones as well. Reading this one that just barely came in. Crash at US 89 near Garfield County. That is estimated to be cleaned up 9:15 a.m. I'm not seeing which way that is, so that's not incredibly helpful. But taking a gander at the rest of the valley, everything is green. But if you see something, say something. 33986 is the number to do that. That is brought to you by check out Haster Games Spring Cleaning Sale, April 9th through the 11th. Clearance items are 60 to 75% off, including mini games and miniatures. Visit HasterGames.com for more details.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3. Shut up, Burgess. The surge in migrants crossing the southern border isn't a challenge for just Texans and neighboring states, warns Utah Representative Burgess Owens. During a TV appearance on Wednesday, the House freshman used highly charged language to argue this may hit closer to home for many Americans.
He's using highly charged language because that's the script he's been handed.
Yeah.
These are the bumper stickers that he has read, and that's what he's going to use. So, go ahead.
Quote, "Believe me, the borders are open right now," Owens said during his trip to McAllen, Texas. "We're seeing every single day people coming here within hours, getting on a train or a plane and going to your neighborhood. So no, Americans, this isn't a border issue anymore. They're coming to your neighborhoods." It gets better. Not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, and there's a cartel influence along the way. So be aware.
There's not.
Don't think this is a distance from you now. This is coming your way, and it's done on purpose by a party who could care less about we the people. You meant
not...
couldn't care less, Burgess. You said that.
Exactly. Well,
this is not a thing.
No. It's not a thing.
And so what?
It's fear-mongering.
Owens made these comments during an appearance of the far-right Newsmax station.
Of course.
That's where he goes.
He goes to the safe places, yes.
During a trip to the border with fellow Republicans and House Judiciary Committee. Quote, this is purely misinformation, Aidan Battar, Director of Migration and Refugee Services for Catholic Community Services of Utah, said. The issue has been politicized. We are not seeing an influx of undocumented individuals coming into our communities here. No. The Tribune asked Owens' office for evidence of an increase in undocumented immigrants using planes and trains to fan out across the country. His staff pointed to news stories about the federal government seeking to fly families and unaccompanied minors to border locations near Canada and San Diego for processing. The rural areas of Arizona that complained about border agents leaving migrants there when they don't have resources to help. So they are needing to process people in different places. Mm-hmm. But they're not just hopping on planes and coming to every neighborhood. and I would say, so what if they are?
Right. And this whole they're bringing
drugs. Come here and work. Okay.
Because they're doing jobs that I know most of your high school graduates don't want, but it's just
they
astounding.
They want to come here and work. They're
and as far as they're bringing drugs with I got news for you. They're already selling drugs in that neighborhood, all right?
It's nothing new.
I grew up in Utah County, some of the whitest county in the state, and they're selling drugs there already. They don't need... You know,
I just can't stand him.
Yeah, exactly. He's clueless.
And he's boner candidate number 3. Just shut up, Burgess.
But again, he just says things that are inflammatory because that's the bumper sticker that he read just recently, and so that's what he will parrot. All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. I drive and fight better when I'm drunk. This is a really drunk guy that got in his car and drove over to this other guy's house for a fight and left the car running, and it was a drunken fight. Boner candidate number 2, desperate DMs. This is Iggy Azalea, who posted some screenshots of some really racy, gross DMs she gets on Instagram, and they're from famous, well-known people with lots of followers. Yep. And you just heard boner candidate number 3. Just shut up, Burgess.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I saw your power bumped there for a second.
Yeah, we had a power bump. Luckily, I got the battery backup going for everything, so I hope everything... I'm getting reports that we might be off the air, if you could check on that. But... All right, there you go. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day, going up against the winner of round 1. Keep that in mind when you vote for this round 2. We want a nice strategic battle here. All right? So pick your champion for round 2. Send it forward. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. Text that vote to 33986. Call the producer's booth in Salt Lake at 877-602-9696 or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting April 8, 2021. The winner will go here and go up against the winner of round 1 for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. So let's go with this, round 2.
It's best question of the week. This is not complicated. You want to ask us something, you email it, and then we answer it. You know, about pretty much anything you want. It's kind of like hello, yeah, what, but in email form. So send us your questions, radiofromhell at x96.com. Put best question or meh in the subject line, and we'll answer. And Katie has selected our best question for today.
I did. I think it's kind of cute. So this one comes from, doesn't say, I can't say their name, so it comes from Curtis. He says, last night my fiance's beloved cat of 18 years, Tigger, passed away with the Great Bale.
Oh.
Her favorite memories of the 10 years I had with her include basking in the sun on the freshly vacuumed carpet and all of these kinds of stuff. says, my question is, what are some of your cherished memories with any of your dearly departed fur babies? Anything that makes you well up with tears or pride when you think of them?
Oh, gosh.
Now, I know all of us are animal owners and previous animal owners, so I thought it fit a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So if
I mean, it's so my dog, Sadie Girl, who lived forever and ever and ever, and I said this at the time that she died. At the time she died, she was the longest relationship I had ever had with anybody. Like, no human, other than, you know, like my family, have I had a relationship as long as... And dogs are, and I'm sure cats, for people that have them, are great because they love you no matter what. And, you know, in that 17 years that I had her, I went through a lot during that time, and she helped me through some really bad stuff that was going on, because the dog is constant. Mm-hmm. They don't know that you've got stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And having that companion that loves you no matter what and is always there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't think of a specific instance, but my thought with her was, you helped me through some bad times, and you didn't even know you were doing that, but you did.
Mm-hmm. We don't deserve
dogs. Mine was I did not know. When we first got Artie, I would come home, and if you go to x96.com/live, I'll show you the face that he would pull. I would come home from work, and he'd be, because he was there by himself, I would come home and he would be doing this. He would move his, you know, he had the underbite already, but he would open his mouth and kind of back and forth like that, you know.
But not make a noise?
Not making a noise. He would just go like that when I would come home. And I thought it was because he did something wrong, and he knew I was going to catch him, and he was like, this is his way of apologizing I thought that for a month.
Yeah.
And then I took Artie to the groomer, as I did every week, and our groomer, Tanya, who is the dog whisperer. I don't care what Cesar Milan says. She knows everything about dogs. And I told her, I said, he does this when I get home. And I showed her. She goes, oh, he's smiling at you. Oh. He's happy you're home.
My heart.
And I'm like, oh, my God, I feel so bad that I thought it was because I'd go, what did you do, buddy? What did you do? You know. And then when
happy you were home.
And then when I also remember when his eyes got bad in his later years, we would put a toy on each stair so that because his depth perception was gone. And so that way he could see the toys, because the carpet's brown, and if it was dark,
he couldn't
see.
Yeah.
So he would see the toys, and that's where he knew where a step was. So we put a step on each one.
That's smart.
But
Katie, do you have one?
Smile.
Yeah, I do. So my very first dog that I ever personally owned was a little mentally challenged. I have a sore spot for a really big soft spot for like mentally challenged animals. But he just wasn't all there in the head. And when I got him, he was missing his 2 front teeth. And I always thought it was so weird. I named him Bosley because it was when the remake of Charlie's Angels had just kind of come out, and it was really big at the time. And he ended up developing sundowner syndrome in his later years, where he kind of just forgot who he was as soon as about 2 o'clock hit. But yeah, it was kind of scary. But before all of that kind of hit, he was just a little dumb, and it was a cute dumb. But in my parents' backyard, they have a wood deck that sits about 6 inches off of the ground floor. Mm-hmm. And we called Bosley over. My sister and I were sitting outside hanging out in the sun, and we called Bosley over to come sit with us. And he gets right up to the edge of the wood, and his legs were not very strong, and he was very chunky because he kept stealing other dogs' foods. So he went to get up on the porch, slipped, and just face planted into the wood steps.
Aww.
That was probably the best thing I have, but I actually have his ashes in a little box that say he finally got his 2 front teeth.
Aww.
That's mine.
All right, 8:51. Let's award round 2 of your boners.
And it's brought to you in part by a handful of nuts.
Wow.
What a delicious dinner. And that is also brought to you by Injured in an Accident. Everyone deserves an advocate. Call 801-355-5550 or go to UtahAdvocates.com.
Boner candidate number 1. I drive and fight better when I'm drunk. Nobody cared about that.
Really?
Boner candidate number 2. Desperate DMs. Nobody cared about that.
Really?
Everybody overwhelmingly cared. Oh, by the way, tote bag won by Autumn. Congratulations, Autumn.
All right.
Overwhelmingly, with the lion's share of the votes, number 3. Just shut up, Burgess.
Yeah, people don't like Burgess here. Yeah.
Good pick.
Good pick. That is your winner for round 2 of your boners. We're sending it forward. Might be boner of the day. Depends on how well it does against candidate number 1, which, as I recall, was a pretty good candidate. Tune in at 9:20, and you'll hear both, and then you will vote and decide who is boner of the day. Oh, yes, Robert Gehrke is on the phone.
Columnist for the Salt Lake Tribune. Hi, Bob Pickle.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I heard you talking with Mayor Mendenhall earlier about the mask mandate.
Yeah, you had a few things to say about that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I mean, it seems like such a small sacrifice for us to make for a few more weeks after having done this for so long. There are, as she noted, so many people who haven't had an opportunity to be vaccinated. A majority of the state hasn't had an opportunity to be vaccinated. And so, at this point, for the sake of those people who, we've been fortunate, but for the sake of those who haven't, it just seems to make sense. And I was disappointed that the county didn't, do what they could have done to try to, just make sure we keep this tamped down for the next several weeks at least.
Well, I'm concerned, and I brought this up with Mayor Mendenhall too, about the press release that the health department, Salt Lake County Health Department released, and in it they said, and I don't disagree with them, but I just fear this is going to be twisted. It said masks aren't going to bring the end of this pandemic; vaccines are, which is true. But I think people are going to read that and go, see, I told you these masks weren't necessary.
The way that sentence is worded. But the thing is that we need to get vaccines into people's arms, and that's taking some time.
Yeah, I mean, vaccines have never been a cure for the virus. I think that's what they were getting at. And so, it is going to be, I'm sorry, did I say masks or vaccines? Masks are not a cure.
Masks are not the cure, no.
Yeah, I mean, and so the vaccines are what's actually going to get us through it, but masks control it. They're, they're a protective measure, and they're effective, and so why not? But I think we're past that. I'm hopeful that at least people or your listeners are generous, show a little grace toward each other as we go out and back into the community, and have to interact with people who have different levels of maskitude.
And that's the whole thing, the GQP, which claims to be the party of the working man, don't seem to understand that the working person is out there. They're your servers, they're your bartenders, they're the ones who are working all the time, don't have necessarily a lot of time to go and get their vaccination, and when they do have free time, it's usually too busy or inconvenient, or they can't get an appointment. But these are the people who needed the vaccine. I think first it should have been there with teachers, because they're right there on the front lines. But the GQP can't, have any empathy for these people. They just put down an arbitrary, all right, the 10th,
Right. And I think, we'll see where things go. I'm hopeful that, our case numbers have been low, our spread has been low, our rate of transmission. So, hypothetically, it may not matter. I'm, and I'm crossing my fingers, I guess, and we'll watch.
Well, just keep an eye on Robert Gehrke's column in the Salt Lake Tribune, and more importantly, follow him on Twitter. He's very amusing. What's your Twitter?
my Twitter handle is just at Robert Gehrke. That's Gehrke. I want to know if Bill's listening. I hope he's on the mend. I hope he's doing better.
He
Get well
is.
soon.
If he's not back tomorrow, he'll make a cameo appearance tomorrow, but for sure be back on Monday, and we'll send him your regards. Thank you, Robert Gehrke, everybody.
All right, thank you, guys.
Extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Let me get that newsman sound effect.
You can read his column in the Salt Lake Tribune.
Yes, good read always. Traffic, please, Nick.
Yeah, there's a few incidents to report in this last batch of traffic here. I'm seeing some slowage southbound I-15 near Clearfield, and a crash has just happened in Pleasant Grove. If you're heading northbound I-15 over there, the right shoulder has been cleared, so you're going to experience a little slowage down there as well. There's your traffic.
All right. 8:57 right now. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Boner Fight to determine who is Boner of the Day and some other things happening in the 9 o'clock hour as well, including potty break. Oh, Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Now, of course, Scott Hale is... it's a good idea, and people think this is strange. I only call the furnace or AC guy when I need his help. No, here's the thing, is that if you have your regular maintenance done... in the long run, it'll wind up not costing you as much, because usually when you have an emergency and you need to call the heating or AC guy, it's going to cost you more. But you can, for Scott Hale offering for the month of April, a hail of a deal, schedule a furnace or AC tune-up. That's the thing I'm talking about. By April 16th, if you schedule it by April 16th for only $29, that's the best deal of the season. Now, if you schedule by April 30th, $49. The price goes back to $79 on May 1st, so you need to schedule today. As you can see, May 1st is when they're going to start getting busy with air conditioning. So if you have the tune-up taken care of now and make the schedule, again, it doesn't need to be before April 16th, your appointment. It can be scheduled by April 16th for $29, scheduled by April 30th for only $49. So you need to go to the website, scotthale.com, or call them, 801-264-HALE, 264-HALE. Home comfort needs at Scott Hale. We talked briefly about this yesterday, but the subject of billboards came up, and Todd came to us and said, want to do some billboards for November. We did our zombie ones for October, for Halloween. How about something for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
And we thought, well, let's give away some turkeys.
Can we give away turkeys? We have to ask. Can we give away turkeys?
Let's give away some turkeys.
Seems like the thing to do for the season.
And Todd said, sure, we can do that. That's easy.
So can we promote that on a billboard that we're giving away turkeys?
And so I didn't speak to the graphics guy, but we have an in-house graphics guy. We have a couple of them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And said, somebody conveyed to him, look, they're giving away turkeys or free turkeys.
Well, he claims that he was not communicated with.
Well, that's
correctly.
what he claims. So now the billboard.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can
see it's kind of stretched out.
It's a squished version, yeah. For some reason he chose to put our heads on cooked turkey bodies.
And then it just says turkeys.
And it says turkeys. Now, and then
I think
it says Radio from Hell Mornings X96. Turkeys, exclamation point.
Turkeys!
I think this is Tracy giving us the big middle finger.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think people are going to see this and go, I think Radio from Hell's giving away free turkey.
Exactly.
I think what it's doing, it's calling us
turkeys. That's obviously
That's
what it's doing.
I think is happening here.
I, for one, am offended.
And well, you should be. And plus, your drumstick is burnt.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Look at that. You're over.
No one will eat that.
I have kind of a nice tan.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little overcooked.
I look like I've been in the tanning booth.
But I think, okay, so, look, I'm willing. Look, my gut says he did it on purpose, because for some reason he doesn't like us.
He did.
But I'm willing to give him a second chance to fix it. Unfortunately, he's about a week and a half behind on his art. So
how long does it take to?
He's got other assignments. He's got the soccer team.
How are people going to know we're giving away free turkeys?
Well, we'll give one away, tomorrow, Katie? We'll probably give one away tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll give away a turkey.
It better be a Norbest.
We are trying to focus on Thanksgiving because we feel like it gets neglected every year and just rushed right through the season to Christmas.
Yep.
I found this Thanksgiving traditions that have been mostly forgotten, so we need to bring
traditions that have been mostly forgotten. Okay.
Thanksgiving greeting cards.
I know Cabin Fever has a bunch of those.
So Christmas cards, everybody knows that, Valentine's cards. But back in the 1800s, people used to give each other Thanksgiving greetings. And this is what Dave says at Cabin Fever. This is the perfect time of year to send somebody a note saying why you're thankful for them.
Yeah.
My family still does that one.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, so I could send somebody a note saying, I will be very thankful if you would invite me over for Thanksgiving dinner.
I guess you could do that.
I mean, you can.
I mean, please invite me for Thanksgiving dinner. I would be very thankful.
Playing football before dinner, like the Kennedys do.
Oh, touch football, yeah.
Yeah, touch football in the yard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to do that for Thanksgiving.
Place cards on your
Names,
dining room table.
where you have your name on it. And there'd be little turkeys or something like that.
That was only at like weddings.
No, you do Thanksgiving.
No, Thanksgiving. Well, it's because you never have anybody over.
And
exactly.
And especially these days, those are important because maybe you don't want Grandpa Trumpy to be sitting next to
try to avoid.
Maybe that's for really big families.
Well,
I have a super small family.
We do that, and now there are 3 of us at home, but we do that every night anyway.
No, it's a good idea.
Because I don't ever remember where I'm supposed to sit.
Oh boy.
Using your grandma's old recipes.
Oh, yes.
That's
Actually, I use Gordon Ramsay's
My
recipe
grandma
now,
was a
but-
terrible cook.
Oh, so you don't want that.
Oh.
And at dinner.
I use her recipe for putting that cheese in the celery. That's what I use her recipe.
At dinner, actually going around the table and saying what you're thankful for.
We do that, and my mom cries every single time.
Why would you do that on Thanksgiving?
Because that's what it's all about.
Oh, it's right there in the name, isn't
Thanks.
it?
Giving.
Breaking the wishbone.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, no, I fight over that every year.
Every year it was my grandfather who broke wind.
So the wishbone from the turkey, you're supposed to break it, and whoever gets the bigger piece, they're supposed to have.
Make a wish.
You kind of have to save it because it doesn't.
Well, it does have to dry.
It has to dry out. So.
Yeah, otherwise it's never going to break for you.
Yeah. Using the good china and the good so what are some of the things your family does, Katie?
We do it buffet style. I don't know about other people, but we do solid buffet style. So we set everything out, and then we just go through the kitchen, then go to sit in the dining room.
That makes a lot more sense than trying to pass it around, doesn't it?
I think the only thing we really pass are the rolls, and that's because everybody eats multiple rolls. We have butt rolls every single year.
What?
Yeah. So.
Okay, great.
So we make our own rolls, but you know how frozen rolls come in just like little balls of dough.
Yeah.
So we put 2 of them in a pie, like a
muffin tin.
Muffin tin, yeah. So we put 2 in one tin, and when they expand and they cook, they become butt rolls, and you can pull them in half perfectly.
This is what you call them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we call them
is
butt rolls.
I'm gonna butter my butt roll.
We used to use a traditional family recipe for the turkey, and then Gordon Ramsay's recipe came out, and it has the best gravy I've ever had in my entire life. So we use that from now on.
It's donkey gravy.
It's amazing gravy that you put like lemons, onions, and things inside of the turkey and let it cook. And then you pull all those out. You cut off the wings and stuff, and you let it boil in cider beer, something, and broth. And then you mash all of it.
You got to get just the right amount of something, though.
Yeah, I know. You mash all of that up, and you reduce it down, and it makes the most flavorful gravy I've ever had in my life. I can bring some into you guys after Thanksgiving if you want to try.
Yeah, bring me a cup of gravy.
Anytime.
I'd love a cup of gravy.
I know you would, Bill.
Now here's a text. Back in the 1800s, we used chamber pots. Are we going to bring them back?
Well,
that's a weird Thanksgiving tradition you got there, dude.
What did they use chamber
That's
pots
weird.
for?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to know.
I don't either.
What's the one thing that you have at Thanksgiving dinner that you never eat? That you go, why are we having this? We have this because it's tradition, and you don't.
And
eat
nobody
it.
touches it.
Well, no, but just you personally.
Cranberries.
Oh,
you don't like cranberries?
I mean, I like them. You asked something that we don't eat during the year, but we have.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean,
what did you mean?
At Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
you put it out. You put it out, and nobody will.
nobody
Or you won't eat it.
That would be me. Cranberry sauce. I don't like it.
I can't think of it. Pumpkin pie.
I don't care for the pumpkin pie.
I don't waste my time with pumpkin pie.
It has to be the homemade pumpkin pie from my family with actual real pumpkin.
Well, I insist on having Brussels sprouts, but I know that some people don't eat them.
We have them all year.
Yeah, you don't have to wait.
Well, no, but you gotta have them on Thanksgiving.
You gotta.
Gotta.
Okay. He works late a couple nights a week, and then I'm in charge of dinner.
That means Olive Garden.
Which is a laugh.
Which me in charge of dinner is never me making dinner.
It's Olive Garden.
You could learn. You're not stupid. You could learn. It's not. No, it's probably too late for you.
Listen, there are a limited number of recipes that you can do with meat and bread, and that's.
And my kids will tell you this story if you ever have them. What does your mom make you for dinner? And you know what they will tell you? Mac and milk.
Mac and milk?
Because a while ago I went to make mac and cheese for them.
We have people who work for the Division of Child and Family Services listening to this show. I'm not sure you want to tell this.
And because I don't eat mac and cheese, I don't think, really. So you boil the pasta, and then I measured out the milk.
This is for the boxed.
Yeah, to put the
crap
powder in.
That any moron can do.
Yeah.
That at 8 years old I was doing.
And I poured the milk into the noodles, and I put it on the table, and the kids, all three of them, sitting there, and they said, "Did you put the cheese?"
Where's the cheese?
Back in?
It's just powder. It's cheese powder. Where is it?
I forgot to put it in the milk and mix it up.
So you are stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to learn to cook.
Yes.
You could do it.
But my husband does such a good job.
But that burden falls upon you to give succor to your family. to nourish
twice a week.
Gina, to nourish and strengthen their bodies.
That doesn't hurt them to have pizza twice a week.
So you're a disappointment. I'm surprised you snagged a husband.
I am too.
Well, everybody.
And he's such a good guy. He wouldn't divorce me now that he knows the truth.
Even though he was duped.
This is now a pity marriage.
All the way.
I'm married.
I got him to marry me quickly.
Now I'm married to you out of pity. I got to stick with you because you wouldn't survive.
Because on this day?
Yeah, in 1989, cute little Maddie Healy was born. English singer, songwriter, musician, record producer. The 1975, who played a few of our shows over the years.
I think one of the last concerts I saw before the pandemic hit was our Christmas show, 2019.
Yep. We got to meet them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were good guys, as I recall.
December 2019. And then it was Offspring.
Right.
Yeah.
I took a picture with them, and I stood next to Maddie, and he put his arm around me, and I put my arm around his waist. He's so tiny. I felt very motherly, very Italian mom, and was like, "Oh, you need some pasta, child. You're so thin."
All the famous people are short and thin.
All right.
Is that what it takes?
That's what I experienced 6 months before that concert. Muse played here at Vivint. We were able to go meet the members there, and I'm not that tall, but I stood like a giant over all the members of Muse, taking photos with them.
Well, so famous people are short and thin. I got the short part taken care of. That's right.
You're so close to being famous,
I'll
Gary.
never truly be famous.
Little.
Yeah, and again, we keep getting hate mail about our take on masks and vaccines and all of that. But people seem to forget we're losing money when this goes on, because 50% of our income here at X96 is events that we throw. Yeah, we want events to get back in and start happening again. The sooner y'all get vaccinated, the sooner we can do that. So that's why we've been pushing for it.
And not even for the money.
This time.
That's the funnest part of my job. if I'm honest. Hanging out with you guys backstage, introducing a show to all the people that want to be there. Like that is what to me makes this job worthwhile, and that not being part of the equation drives me a little crazy.
Is it just so hard to believe that we're doing the right thing and saying goodbye to money? Is it that hard to believe?
Yes, Carrie, it is hard to believe.
Yeah, because taking the money and not doing the right thing seems to be the other side's way about it, and they just can't fathom anybody else would do it any other way.
Nope.
I mean, that's what we would do. Why you? All right. But yeah, I do miss shows. I miss just going to movies and restaurants. I just miss.
There are some outdoor things being planned.
Right.
Now, they can be retracted at any time, obviously, if things get bad. But there may be some things that X96 is involved in this summer that would be outdoors and live music. And wouldn't that? I almost don't even care who it is.
Oh, I'm the same boat.
Like anybody.
Yeah.
I would go see anybody.
I want a beer spilt on me.
You do?
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
we can get that taken care of. Hell, that's easy.
Carrie knows a guy.
Well, I'll pay one of the guys across the hall to come running over and do it. Whoops!
Walking from the far side of the hallway, just stumbling his whole way to me. No, what? No, what?
I think E-Rock owes me a favor.
Yeah, sure.
I'll ask him. All right, let's take a break. We will be back with boner fights, a reasonable amount of news, all of that on the way. Stand by. Zerorez is the place to go to. It's not just carpets, though. That's the thing. Go to your search engine on your preferred search engine. I'm still using Ask Jeeves. And look up Zerorez, the location near you, and take a look at. It's not just carpet. They do all kinds of things all throughout the house, right, Gina?
Yeah, you can go to ZerorezSaltLake.com or ZerorezDavisWeber.com. And yeah, I've had them do tile. I've had them clean the upholstery on my couches and chairs and things. They'll even seal your countertops. All of that they do with no harsh chemicals. That's what the Zerorez part of it is. A lot of times when you clean carpets with other companies, they use a lot of soap. And think about washing your hair and putting shampoo in your hair and then not rinsing it out. How dirty that would feel. It's the same thing.
I mean, when they come to your house, they'll explain how the Zerorez process works and how it's different and unique and much more efficient. And then ask them to see the dirty water. When they get done, they'll bring it out and show it to you.
When you call to book your appointment, ask them about the April special, $33 per room, carpet or tile, minimums apply. Call them 801-2880, Zerorez.
How about 7 of the weirdest products people have been buying during the pandemic? How about that?
You didn't warn me there was a list.
Red in German is Rot.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not Luft.
99.
No, I think Luft is, airborne.
Is fly, right?
Yeah, fly or airborne. Or,
okay, all right. What about List? Is there a
German
for List? The Listwaffe?
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
And I'm wondering if, Gina, you maybe have bought all of these or none of these things.
Okay. Oh, by the way, list in German is die List.
Der List. Der List. And I just happened to see this instant. It's nothing 7 weirdest products people have been buying during the pandemic.
Okay.
Number 1, roller skates. Have you bought any roller skates?
I have not purchased roller skates.
But you can kind of probably guess why.
It's outside, something to do outside. Yeah.
Yeah, people want activity. They want to do something, and they want to do it outdoors. Number 2, you've already got one of these, Gina. So you don't. RVs. Recreational vehicles.
We have had a trailer for 13 years.
Carrie, are you going to get are you going to go out and get an RV?
Maybe if I live long enough to retire. I may be living in one. Who knows?
Guns. People are buying guns.
Yes, Joe bought a gun.
Another one?
We have a couple.
Oh yeah, I thought he already was going to say. I thought he already had
a couple.
One.
I've been. No, I haven't. Yeast.
Yes.
People
was on the hunt for yeast, wasn't she, Carrie?
Yes, for a while, but now we're able to find yeast. It was just in the early days when the COVID scramble, as I call it. Everybody was hoarding stuff, and but now we realize that the supply chains are fine, and we don't need to hoard all that stuff. Although they were out of Adam's peanut butter at the Harmons yesterday.
What?
Apparently, I know, right?
And I'm on so I buy the great big jar, of course, at Costco, the big jars of Adam's peanut butter, and I'm almost out. Bidets.
Mm-hmm. You bought one?
Well, that was pre-COVID, but we did.
Well, Bill got one, too.
Yeah, I just got one recently. It's in the hall. Currently, it's in the hall. Which,
you're pooping in the hall?
Yeah, and it's really, I found it to be kind of messy, really.
I want to look into that.
It doesn't smell all that great either. We've had to just run a hose in there, and it's just not. Sweatpants.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've bought sweatpants?
Yes.
You didn't, but you've owned sweatpants before.
But I needed new sweatpants.
Why did you need new sweatpants? Were the old ones too small?
They're the only pants I'm wearing these days, so
and
I needed some more.
Scented candles.
No scented candles.
Which I would
really.
I would, yeah. If after months of stay-at-home orders, your home is starting to smell extra lived in,
yeah,
you're not the only one.
Try cleaning it.
Or opening a window.
Cover it up with.
Open a damn window or two. It's not like the coronavirus is just hovering in clouds outside of your house just waiting to blow in. You can open the windows. It's good for you to have fresh air. But candle sales have shot up during the pandemic. So those are 7 weird. They're not all that weird. I don't know. Why would they say weirdest products?
Yeah, it's not weird.
Buying up.
Yeah.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
My favorite is Boo Radley and Yay Radley.
Yay Radley.
That's the best part.
His brother, Yay Radley. All right, we got Boner Fight coming up here. As I'm looking at it, it's gone beyond a reasonable amount of news. It's almost a big boy news strength.
Oh, geez.
All right.
So this would be easier if you just throw on things that we can all talk about and
okay.
Kill time until it
all right.
becomes Boner Fight here in about 7 minutes. So here we go. Big boy news brought to you by.
Consolidate debt, make home repairs, and more with a home equity line of credit from Mountain America. Apply today at macu.com, equal housing lender.
As a Chinese mom prepared for her son's wedding day on Wednesday, March 31st, she made a shocking discovery. The blushing bride, actually her long-lost daughter.
Oh.
According to a report, the mom realized who the woman was after spotting a birthmark on her hand. The groom's mother quickly approached the bride's parents and asked if their daughter had been adopted about 20 years ago.
Oh, my.
The pair were equally as surprised at the inquiry as they kept the adoption secret from most, including their own daughter. She didn't know she was adopted.
Okay.
The bride's parents confirmed that they had indeed rescued her as a baby. They confessed that they had found her as an infant bundled up on the side of the road and took her in to raise her as their own. Of course, this is China, where baby girls are, we don't want baby girls.
Right.
Only want baby boys. The bride, upon hearing the truth, burst into tears and embraced her biological mother. She called meeting her birth mom happier than the wedding day itself. The joyous mother-daughter reunion was the bride expressed concerns about going through with the wedding now that she knew the true relation to the groom's mother. Believe it or not, the groom was also adopted. So they weren't biologically related.
Well, then everything should be okay?
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
So the mother explained, she took him in after spending many years searching for her biological daughter without success. She allegedly resigned herself to never finding her daughter. Although the family's dynamic might be a little complicated, the bride and groom went through with the nuptials, so no blood relation there, but technically brother and sister, I guess.
Still a little weird.
Well, I mean, now you were shocked, that the groom didn't know he was adopted, and Nick was a little shocked at that. I got news for you. Is that's about 50% of the time, is that when you are adopted, you're not told. The parents, for some reason, get uncomfortable with it. I mean, my dad kept making the same joke. He'd say, when we went to the baby store and picked you up, I thought he was making a joke. I didn't realize that I was adopted until I was rifling through a shoebox full of photographs and papers that I saw the adoption papers.
How old were you?
I was 13, 14.
Okay.
Around in there. And that's when I went, oh, okay.
Baby store?
When he said baby store, he wasn't kidding. I thought he was just being a silly dad, making silly dad jokes.
How did you react to that?
The baby store was the hospital. I looked at it and I went, well, it makes sense.
Oh, so many things are clearer now.
So many things make sense. I don't look nothing like the mom and dad. So, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That was kind of my approach to the whole thing, and that was how I looked. Because it didn't make a difference to me because they were my parents. And,
right.
They loved me and raised me. So
they
to
did
me,
the
it was
work.
just exactly.
Course.
So I looked at the paper and I went, well, that makes sense, and moved on.
I guess some parents might feel that after not telling their child for some time, it might come off as some sort of betrayal, almost for lack of a better term.
Which is why I wonder if you should be upfront with them
from the beginning.
On.
Yeah.
Maybe not from the beginning. Maybe age 10. I don't know. You have kids, Gina. What's a good age for them to comprehend something like this? I don't know.
I think it's good for them always to know, because you make it more normal. If you make it a big announcement at some point, okay, we're going to sit you down and tell you the truth, then it feels like this, oh, dun dun dun. But if you're just very matter of fact about it, yeah. Well, I come from a family. My parents like to say they have yours, mine, ours, and theirs.
Oh,
because we all have different combinations of mom and dad, and then my brother's adopted, so he came from a whole other, we just all, we're just all family. It was never a secret. I think that's
And if
easier.
Guardians of the Galaxy teaches you anything, it's that family isn't necessarily blood, okay?
True.
Exactly.
True that.
Your brother can be a raccoon.
Maybe that's my
brother is in fact a raccoon. It's the strangest thing.
Is a raccoon.
All right.
Do we have time for more here?
Yes.
Okay.
One
Speaking
more
of
good
family,
story. Yes.
Jamie Foxx isn't adverse to using celebrity friends to help him out when it comes to parenting his daughter, Corinne.
Okay.
Jamie and Corinne have created and co-produced their own sitcom, Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me, which Jamie also stars in, but it seems like the Fox...
Wait, that's the name of the show, Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, you know what you're getting there, I suppose.
But Fox's real-life parenting style may have influenced the Netflix show. On the April 7th episode, Jamie Foxx said that when Corinne started dating guys, he turned into a private eye. By the time she got the person there, I already knew everything about him, Jamie said. You know, you do your research. There was one time, however, that Fox's celebrity pal Snoop Dogg was at his house. You know, like happens when you have...
You know. Oh, Snoop's over. Yeah.
And Fox asked Snoop to intimidate the date on his behalf. So she brought this guy home, and I said, Snoop, go make him feel uncomfortable. But apparently the date handled it well, and Snoop came back with a good report saying, he took my crap very well. I think it's okay for him to go out with your daughter. But it reminded me of my daddy Gary, my stepdad, when I used to have guys come pick me up for dates.
Mm-hmm.
He occasionally would arm wrestle them before we left.
Hey, come on. You're going to go out. Come on.
It's not the same thing as pulling out the shotgun and doing what
go.
it's like.
Right.
And he'd and he'd beat him in an arm wrestle and then be like, okay, you can.
I don't want you to say I have the weight advantage on you. That's not fair. This is strength.
Let's see. Utah motorcyclists are urging drivers to look twice as the weather warms up. And my daughter has her driving permit now, so we're going out practicing driving. And we had this conversation just yesterday because we were sitting in a light, and two motorcycles drove up between the lanes through the cars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And she was confused. She's like, can they do? Yes, they can do that.
Coming from a motorcyclist, I have my own. Please, it's a big deal to make sure that you watch out for us because we try our best to be as observant as ever, but they're just dumb people out there.
Yeah, it's the phrase is look twice to save a life. So when you're changing lanes or something, look twice because motorcycles can come up on you fast, and you might miss them out of your blind spot, and then they move out of that blind spot. So just be aware as the weather warms up. There's a lot more.
Well, especially now that I've got the motorcycle out and I'm driving more often.
Tib, is that you?
And my wife, yes, it is. Tibbs Tips. Just keep an eye out for us motorcycles. And my Italian wife insists on having 2 bottles of ketchup in the house always because she's Italian.
At all times.
Tibbs Tips, yes.
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
That's right.
Boner candidate number 1 from the 7 o'clock hour. By all means, let's let anyone carry these anywhere. This is 2 firearms-related injuries in 2 days at the Iron County shooting range. One guy accidentally shot his friend in the back. Another woman accidentally shot herself in the hand in just 2 days. But, according to the state of Utah, anybody can carry these anywhere at any time, and it's perfectly safe. Yep. I wish it were more regulated myself.
Mm-hmm.
And boner candidate number 2 from the 8 o'clock hour. Just shut up, Burgess. This is Burgess Owens spreading lies about how these migrants, the minute they cross the border, they're hopping on planes and trains and coming to your neighborhood, and they don't speak the language or understand the culture, and the cartels are sending them there, and they're bringing drugs, and they're bringing
Yeah,
just no proof of that.
Well,
and I say, even if they are, so what? They want to come here and work. Let them come here and work.
But Burgess is reading from his Federalist Society script. It's just the script is just a bunch of bumper stickers that they bought in gas stations in in the South, and that's what the script is. Anyway, there you go. You've got to decide of these two candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be boner of the day for today. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Easy to vote that way. Easy to call the producer's booth in Salt Lake and use your voice, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com, and when the website loads in your browser, hit refresh, because we just put the box up that says Boner Fight April 8, 2021. That way it'll appear and you can vote online. Easy. You have until the end of these messages to do so. This is Boner of the Day.
Now I got a DM'd by Chainsaw Guy, because he's right outside. You might be able to hear chainsaws and beeping and worker guys outside my house chopping up trees. And he said, he said, can I come in for a drink? I'm thirsty. Don't worry, I'll wear my mask. And if you guys don't mind if I bring him in for a minute. He wanted to say hi.
Well, okay.
Is it safe? I mean,
well, can I see him? Where is he?
All right. Go to x96.com/live.
I can't see him. Where is he?
He's right there.
What? Oh, there he is. He's apparently at Carrie's.
How can you tell with the split screen technology?
I'm not. Wait a minute.
He's in my house. That's Chainsaw
Is that your
Guy
house?
at my house. Yeah, sure.
Sure, as far as you know.
Okay.
Hi, Chainsaw Guy.
There. I'll bet he's been really busy, haven't you, Chainsaw Guy?
Yes, I have.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
That's right. I've been really, really busy. You know, people have been telling me all the time about, they say, hey, Chainsaw Guy, a bunch of trees came down in the big windstorm. What should I do? And I say, well, you just get a chainsaw,
Well, it seems pretty easy, doesn't it?
What I did, I just got a chainsaw, yeah?
You know what I do? I call somebody who owns a chainsaw. I call a friend who has a chainsaw and have them come over and do it for me.
That's right. And don't call me, though. I'm too busy. I'm as busy as a one-armed paper hanger. As a one-legged tap dancer. I don't know.
Do you have your chainsaw handy there, Chainsaw Guy?
I don't know. Do I? I'm not sure if I do or not.
Because I have a question for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's... Okay, so if you ask a question, maybe I'll fire up my chainsaw.
Okay.
What's your question, Gina?
Well, Chainsaw Guy, I have this really big tree that fell down in the windstorm yesterday, and it's blocking the road in front of my house, and I can't get out to get the mail. Chainsaw Guy, what should I do?
Well, it's pretty simple. All you do is you do it first, and you take your away. And then you take a high plug, and then you wear the cover. And now the one you ever breathe, and you take it out of the water, and then you take it down. And then, if you can't get in them, and then you grab it down, and you get back out there, and you say, and then, you turn it around, and then everything is all right.
Oh, thank you, Chainsaw Guy. That's very helpful.
Don't forget the part about taking off your clothes.
Chainsaw Guy, I'm just curious because, I don't think it's safe that you be in the house, a stranger's house, because your mask has holes in it.
Well, I'm not contagious, honest. Honest.
You're dangerous in other ways, aren't you?
That's just sawdust. That's all that is.
That's just sawdust. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Chainsaw Guy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's here.
You better get back to work, I think, Chainsaw Guy.
Is he gone?
Yes, he just left.
Okay, good.
Yay, thank you.
God, the things we do for you, Gina.
I don't know what.
That was elaborate.
It was.
Don't forget the part about taking off your clothes.
It's very important.
Yeah.
To getting the trees cleaned up.
Mm-hmm. Well.
No, it's not Halloween already. That just depresses me.
No, there's not going to be any trick-or-treating this year, is there?
No.
I'm not going to participate in any. No. I usually have candy and comic books for the kids, but no, I don't want you coming to my house. I'm sorry. This is not happening. And Los Angeles, it's funny because Los Angeles initially announced no trick-or-treating. Mm-hmm. And then they had to walk that back because they realized
because why?
I don't know. I think they caught a lot of flack for it, and they said now we're saying it's discouraged. Trick-or-treating is discouraged.
Yeah, because, see, Gina, before they were saying, we're going to station snipers around the city and shoot people who are trick-or-treating. But now they had to walk that back. They had to walk that back a little.
$9:38. Let's award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by a handful of nuts and some stale peeps.
Oh, were they mixed nuts at least, or?
Yeah, some cashews, some almonds, some macadamias.
And Young Power Sports in Centerville is Utah's newest power sports dealer. Tri-City Performance is now Young Power Sports in Centerville, your Polaris and Victory motorcycle dealer. See inventory online at youngpowersports.com.
Boner candidate number one from the 7 o'clock hour was, we're just going to let anybody carry these things anywhere they want. This is 2 gun accidents in 2 days at the Iron County shooting range. One guy shot his friend in the back accidentally. Another woman shot herself in the hand accidentally. And it just made me think, wow. So just according to the state of Utah, they're perfectly fine with any of these people just walking around in public with us with guns all the time, everywhere.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number one. Boner candidate number two from the 8 o'clock hour. Just shut up, Burgess. This is Burgess Owens spreading lies with no
it's
data.
Fear-mongering. It's fear-mongering and a straw man argument.
Right.
Saying that these immigrants, they hop on planes and trains and they're coming to your neighborhood and they're bringing their drugs and their crime and they're here now and it's just not a thing, Burgess. Just shut up. Now, I know most of you didn't vote for Burgess in the election for him to become congressman, but I think many of you did vote for him today because handily Burgess Owens wins the boner of the day.
Yay.
All right, there we go. That's your boner of the day for today, April 8, 2021. Now qualified to be boner of the week when Dave Mattson, Georgia's flower guy, comes in here and takes away your right to vote and just tells you who boner of the week is. That's on the way. All right. Should I try my every burger here?
Yes. Go to x96.com/live. Carrie has tell people about the snack that you got.
Well, I had to run a few errands yesterday, and one of the errands was Sue wanted me to go to the Korean store and get her some good kimchi. She bought regular grocery store kimchi, and well, that's a mistake.
Why would you do that when you can have the good stuff?
Because she's just like, this is not the good stuff. This is not,
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, would you go to the Korean store and get me some good kimchi? And so I'm like, okay, good. I will do that. So, of course, while I'm there, I always like to go down the snack aisle of the Korean store because they always have these interesting, of course, the Pockies and everything that people are familiar with, but there's stuff there that, you just don't find everywhere.
Sure.
Including the ever-popular shrimp chips. These are like puffy snack fry kind of things that taste like shrimp.
Did you get some?
I did not. They're not my favorite.
Oh, you like the candy. You like that kind of.
I have a lot of nieces and nephews who love them, and I've tried them, and I don't care for the shrimp chips myself. But
fair.
But these are. This was in the candy section. This is Every Burger, is what it's called, and it's burger-shaped cookies. So you see, they look like they're
not
hamburgers.
They're not burger flavored.
No.
They're burger shaped.
No, and see, that was the thing. I got excited when I saw the burger snack. I went, oh, so it's a burger flavored candy? That'll be fun. But then I got home and I went, oh, it's a burger shaped cookie. So
don't be disappointed. I'm sure they taste better than if they tried to make burger flavored cookies.
Well, that's what I was curious about. I was like, how are you going to make that taste good?
They're not. There's no way to do that.
I miss the boxes you used to get from out of country that had all the food in it. We need to get those back.
Look at that.
Oh, they do. It looks like a tiny burger.
It looks like a little hamburger.
What's the texture like?
It's like a cookie.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I would have done with that, Carrie, when I was a kid? That would have been a Barbie's burger. I would have made.
That's a big burger for Barbie. That's almost as big as her head. That's like going to Lucky 13 and doing the challenge. All right. Well, let's see. Well, yeah. Just imagine a golden Oreo.
Okay.
But with the chocolate inside.
That sounds good.
That's essentially what you're getting with this, although it looks cooler. It looks like a little hamburger. Or see, the chocolate is the burger patty.
Can you take it apart?
Yeah, I think you can.
Because I know
so there you go. See?
The only other burger-shaped candy I can think of is the SpongeBob Krabby Patty gummy, if you've ever had that.
Yes. I think that's supposed to be a slice of cheese.
Oh, not a pickle. I thought maybe
it was a pickle. It looks like it might be even Kraft American cheese. But it's just chocolate flavor with a cookie. These are adorable.
I used to do that all the time when I was playing Barbies. Like you'd find tiny things and I used to take Tic Tac bottles.
Yeah.
Think of those. That was Barbie's aquarium.
What would you put in it?
I would cut up little pieces of paper like fish, and I would put them in. Because think about what a Tic Tac container looks like. You know what it looks like? Tiny aquarium.
Sure. But your play style is watching Barbie watch an aquarium?
You're outfitting her, house.
Sure.
She needs. Why not have a little Barbie aquarium?
So you had the whole setup with Barbie's dream home.
Sure.
Now, see, I tried to find these, but I can't real quick because they're buried. But it was if you go to the Mad Marchness, if it's still up on our website, I don't know if it is, but you saw my picture of one of my candidates, drunken Dr. McCoy. And it was my old Dr. McCoy action figure from when I was a kid, sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise, holding a bottle of whiskey. Now, they have a whole line of products for your dolls that are things like, beer cans, rolls of toilet paper. They're miniature. You get those
They're tiny. They're cute.
Yeah, you go to the craft stores and you can buy them. And that's what I did. I bought a whole bunch of that stuff for when Jeff and I were doing action figure theater for when we were hosting Star Trek reruns back a long time ago. And so I have all of these little accessories for action figures that are just perfect. And what I love about, and if you look at the picture, if it's still there on the website, is that the bottle of whiskey, it has a skull and crossbones on it.
It's like poison. It's a bottle of poison.
So you can buy all that stuff for your Barbies.
I love
Can
it.
you? I feel like I feel like small accessories like that might have been discontinued by one kid having to choke to death on it or
But
whatever.
see, they're not selling them in a toy store. They're selling them in a craft store.
Fair.
See,
Okay.
That way you get away
All
with
right.
it. So, yeah, you can have a burger and a bottle of whiskey for for Barbie now. Oh, delicious. All right.
Not with her figure.
Yeah, I don't think she's eating many burgers. All right, we will take a break. We'll be back to crawl towards the exits, as it were. Stand by. And now a message from the State of Utah COVID Task Force.
Yes, so the good news is all Utahns 16 years of age and older can get the vaccine now. You just have to get your appointment. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go to coronavirus.utah.gov.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to vaccinefinder.org. You can also go to getmyshot.utah.gov. All of those places will help you get scheduled for your vaccine and get it as soon as possible. You know that here are some things that happen after you get your vaccine. You don't have to quarantine anymore when you're around somebody that's tested positive. That's nice.
Yeah.
You can visit with friends and family that are vaccinated. And now the CDC has said it's okay for you to travel if you've been vaccinated.
Now, keep in mind the vaccine is free for everyone. You don't have to have health insurance. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen or resident or have a Social Security number. Vaccine providers don't give any of that information to immigration or law enforcement. We just want every human being around us to be vaccinated. So, take something that has your name on it, like, if not a photo ID, a utility bill. Oh, would
Bank
work.
statement, something like that.
So just be sure to get vaccinated. And, of course, the headquarters is coronavirus.utah.gov/vaccine.
From celebrities to moms right here in Utah, more and more women are consuming their placentas in pill form.
Don't do that.
Listen, I want you to hear
Okay,
these.
wait, don't go on. Even if there's something about eating your placenta, you would have to do it the way your dog does it when she has puppies.
Yep.
If there's anything to it, drying it out and putting it in a pill kills whatever good thing you think it does.
Medical expert Gina Barberi, listen to the testimonies of these women,
All
Gina.
right.
The placenta, for those of you who don't know, is an organ that grows inside the uterus while a baby is developing. The placenta gives nutrients to the baby, and some believe...
Some
believe.
People are saying, and I'm hearing.
Ms. Barberi, not among them.
No.
But some people are saying, and I'm hearing, and I have the tendency to believe when some people say and I hear, and then I believe, that it is also capable of giving mom key nutrients even after it, that is the placenta, and the baby are delivered. Quote, so what happens is, studies show that about 72 hours after delivery, once the placenta is delivered, hormone levels drop, said Rachel Talley, a midwife, Gina, and herbalist. Are you either of those two things?
Wow, a midwife and an herbalist.
Are you?
I am neither of those.
All right then.
Are there any,
you take out your credentials and show me.
Are there any doctors or scientists around?
Carrie?
Studies, Carrie.
Studies?
Studies
Herbalist,
say,
herbalist.
according to this midwife
And a
Midwife
study,
and herbalist,
a study could be,
Okay.
I've studied things, and that's a
it
study.
takes 4 to 12 weeks statistically, said an herbalist and midwife, for the body to and the endocrine system to start producing these hormones again. So what we're really doing is natural hormone therapy. After Miranda Hansen delivered her second child, she said she felt the despair of postpartum creeping back in. The first 5 days was like a flashback, she said. But after taking her first placenta pill, she says, so here's evidence right here,
Okay.
the symptoms softened in just 20 minutes. It was like this fog that was lifted, she said. It was like a breath, like it was totally like, I could just like feel like it was clear. It was
Couldn't
like
possibly
amazing.
be that you were thinking that would happen, so it happened.
Oh, my God, you are so negative. Miranda says she bonded with her baby, got back on her feet quicker, dropped her baby weight faster after taking the pills. Other moms, like Melinda Dratchell, also weighed in. I'm a big fan of Western, like modern medicine, she said. I'm all about the epidural, which I know you are, Gina.
Big fan of the epidural.
But she said the placenta pills worked for her. It was a little strange at first when I started
and
talking.
And they kept the
them.
cougars away, and they kept...
Rachel Talley charges, midwife and herbalist, charges... What are you charging for this advice, Gina? Huh?
It's free.
She charges $250. Okay.
How much does she charge?
And that's what it's worth.
How much does she charge?
That's what your advice is worth. Because her advice, midwife and herbalist, $250 for her services. She said a placenta typically yields about 200 to 300 pills. Some hospitals won't release the placenta, but if they do, and if it's handled correctly, the health department said they don't see a risk in consuming your own placenta, but they do caution folks not to share their placenta with somebody else.
Please let me have some of your placenta.
No.
Come on.
No, don't share. No placenta sharing out there, okay? Rachel Talley, midwife, herbalist, and placenta encapsulator.
And making money off of it.
She is.
Wait, that couldn't possibly have anything to do.
She is a placenta encapsulator as well.
Okay. A placebo encapsulator.
Yeah.
All right, 9:54 right now.
Ooh. Ooh.
So again, as far as tomorrow goes, Bill may be back, or he may just make a cameo.
We'll see.
We'll see. For sure, back on Monday, though.
I know he wants to be back. I know he's anxious to be back, but he had major surgery, for hell's sakes.
And again, if you go to our social media, you can find all of the crap that they pulled out of Bill's back.
I was reading that same story that Nick did earlier in the sports about Tiger Woods and his accident.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods has had 5 back surgeries.
Really?
And I was trying to remember if this is Bill's 4th or 5th back surgery.
I want to say 4th.
But he's in good company.
Yeah. Let's get him in a golf tournament.
Yeah, I mean, because if Bill's struggled with it quite a bit. I hope this one is finally the one that he can finally not worry about being in pain all the time. Poor guy.
Make him bionic.
He can't take pain pills. He's allergic to them. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's getting by on Advil, I think, recovering from surgery. So.
Ouch.
We need $1 billion bill.
What?
Like, are you talking about like the $6 Million Man? Is that
correct.
Where you're going?
But I was keeping the alliteration in there.
Wasn't sure what you were talking about.
It's Bill reimagined.
Oh, I see.
He's bigger, stronger, faster. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
I always told you. I mean, there were a lot of Bionic Man parodies, you know, when the $6 Million Man was around.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of parodies, but my favorite was it was a Saturday morning live action, I want to say Sid and Marty Krofft's bit. And it was even then, it was just a sketch on another show. It was a show called Uncle Croc's Block, which was a parody of itself as it is. It was a parody of kids shows.
Yeah.
So I had Charles Nelson Riley dressed as a crocodile, okay? And he was Uncle Croc, and he would introduce cartoons and sketches. So he was like Krusty the Clown, except he's Charles Nelson Riley dressed as a crocodile. And he had a theme song. It said, "Welcome to Uncle Croc's Block." Anyway, but he would introduce sketches, and one of the sketches was the $6.95 Man. Because you see,
not $6 million, $6.
$6.95 Man.
Well, he can't be very good, that man.
And he was never that good because his stuff was made of cardboard and because it was very inexpensive. He was not as good.
I get it.
And I think that was what Inspector Gadget ripped off.
Eventually.
Yeah. Could be.
I was a Bionic Woman person. I didn't care about the $6 Million Man. I was all about the Bionic Woman. She was badass.
And they've still got the $6 Million Man property has been bouncing around from creator to creator. It's owned by Universal Studios, and they want to make a $6 Million Man reboot or something. They did a Bionic Woman reboot here about 4 or 5 years ago. It was actually quite good, I thought.
That was a television show, right?
Yeah.
And I was the only one watching it. But I know Mark Wahlberg was the last to be attached to it.
You'd think that's a no-brainer. Why haven't they made that happen?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could...
We're remaking everything. Why not?
And you could either do it seriously or a comedy. You could do it either way. Or, serious with some comedic elements like Marvel would do. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's a no-brainer to do that kind of thing. Of course, it'd have to be the $6 billion man or the $6 trillion man. But, why not do that?
Yeah, I could see Ryan Reynolds starring in that.
Oh, do a funny version of Ryan Reynolds. That would be hilarious. Okay.
I could see that.
Right.
You can keep this to yourself. Sell it.
There we go. We're pitching these $1 million ideas around. Okay. Let's do the promo and crawl towards the exits.
Let me see if I can... I got it. There we go.
Okay.
Well, we made it to the end of the week, so go into the weekend with Friday's Radio from Hell show.
There is a chance that Bill may return tomorrow. Good timing, because we have Matt Caputo on the show at 7:45 talking about the mask mandate and restaurant workers.
Then at 8 a.m., it's Best Question of the Week, but we still need your questions. Send them to radiofromhell@x96.com.
And Mayor Wilson will be back with us at 8:45 to talk about Salt Lake County and the mask mandate ending.
End of the week, do it on a high note. Friday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Okay. I think we are good. Did we
Thanks
get all
again,
business?
Nick, for helping out.
Of course.
You,
I'm rubbing the sleepiness from my eyes, but I'm here.
Huh? Okay. Fine job, Katie, as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Remember who you are and what you stand for.
My brother's a raccoon.
Corey is next.